So it has got a delay on it. So yes, we'll just wait and cross fingers. YouTube, please play the game.
Please be nice.
Yeah, we want to play the game with you, please. Okay. Bad singing. I've got that song in my head now. Yeah. Please, please tell us that you can see us and you can hear us and everything is going to be okay. I still haven't found that setting for my volume, but hopefully it doesn't piss around too much. What's up, YouTube? Vape fam! Can you see us? Are we here? Are we here? Are we here? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Mom, are we there yet?
I refresh my page.
And I believe we're there. I believe we're there. Now, somebody just has to tell us how horribly painful it is. Are we there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
I refreshed. I don't see anything.
I see something on the screen, but I
yeah,
don't know if it's...
we are on screen. We're there. I haven't had any feedback from anyone in chat yet, so it's all good. Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up? Apologies for that wee little, what the hell was that game? Podas, YouTube,
Okay.
Tech, what you up to?
Is it watching?
Is it watchable though? Like, we're there, I can see us, but are we horribly painful? We're looking good? Oh, nah, honey, Jack, I know I'm looking good, but is the stream doing well?
We're all looking good. But...
Always looking good, honey.
That's it.
Zach! I haven't seen you in ages, honey. Ah, bless. Thank you all for still hanging in chat and bearing through the painfulness. And I can only cross fingers that I altered that one right setting that's going to stop the YouTube bullshit beyond...
Everyone says looking great. So
beyond YouTube doing its weirdness, like whatever I can alter. I hope I have done what needs to. Let's just, I see that comment, James. I'm just going to cross my fingers because I don't want to jinx it. Touching wood, all the wood, touch all the wood. Oh, shall we start this again? Hi guys. Welcome to another episode of the Ohm Kiwis. I believe we've reached episode 32. And today, oh my god, listen to that. Today we're hanging with Beauty, guys. If you had, yeah, totally. Today we're hanging with Beauty, guys, if you hadn't picked up on that one already. And yep, this is take 2. That 15 minutes of before, I'm just gonna delete it. So welcome. We're having an all-female show today. We're having a Drippin' Dolls show today, being that myself and Megan, being NZ Dolls, Christine is one of the Drippin' Dolls in the US, obviously. So we're having a doll day. We're having a doll day.
It's a girl slumber party.
I know, right? Hey, hang on, slumber party? There ain't gonna be no sleeping. There's no sleeping here. Oh, why thank you, Tim. Just catching your comments out there in the box. I'm still going to cross my fingers, James. I just don't want to jinx it. So right now, we're good. Sweet. Come on, brain frazzled. We're starting again. All right, well, we will start again then. Hi, Megan. How are you today?
I'm not. I'm doing pretty good so far. Yeah. Just hoping that the stream stays pretty solid, which so far it's doing. So that's good. Yeah. How you doing, Christine?
I am, I'm more now on the moderate side. No, I'm more on the fine side now that this is working. I was fine to moderate. Now I'm more leaning towards fine.
Sorry, just commenting out here in ye old chat box. Yeah, welcome to the show, Christine. Welcome to Come and Hang with the NZ Dolls, the Ohm Kiwis.
My honor. I'm honored.
I'm totally thrown. I had like this whole plan for today, and now I'm just like, YouTube!
Well, how about I start again by saying what I'm vaping on?
Okay, yeah. Go, Megs.
Since we're doing this all over again. Okay, so in case you didn't catch it in our mock-up screen, or stream, should I say, not screen, I'm vaping on the Tesla 2 with the Twisted Message 24. I've got a single coil alien in there, and like I said in the one stream, I'm vaping on a single coil alien at the moment. I would show it to you, but it's a bit dirty. So I think like the next time we do like a show, I'll try and have like a cleaner bill to be able to like show off. And as well as that, I'm also vaping on Husky Juice's Jackfruit Jungle local juice. So I'm all day, every day at the moment. Every now and again, I sort of switch back and forth. Like I was saying earlier that I had been vaping on Sweet Missy. So yeah, that's what I'm vaping on.
James, you jinxed it.
No big size. No big size.
Okay, just keep going. I'm just gonna try and persevere and see if the wiggles iron out, if the kinks bugger off.
So Disney hates Vapor. I'm inaudible? Really? Okay, hold on.
Oh,
What,
really?
in one? Just keep going and hope for the best.
Yeah, totally. What are you vaping on today, Christine?
Well, I am vaping on my Laissimo L3. Everyone calls it the Lazimo, but I'm Italian, so I will call it the Laissimo. And my K-Fun Moon, which I absolutely love. Like I had said before, the hype is definitely real. And okay, I'll talk a little louder. And I am vaping on a combination of Not a Pie, which is a banana cream pie from Bake It Vapor. I had just done a review on their line, and Vapor Jerry's Skipper, which is peanut butter. So we got peanut butter and banana going. And that is what I am vaping on.
Cool. Yeah, the sound is going up and down because I can't find why my computer is altering it. It's like auto-changing it. And no, that's not my Zoom, and that's not YouTube. That is actually my laptop auto-changing everything. See, it's just doing it right in front of my eyes. In the what the hell was that stream 5 minutes ago, nobody could hear me. So, what the hell was that is going to be deleted.
What the hell is that?
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm vaping on today my new beautiful waffle win, which if you follow me on Instagram, you guys would have seen some close-up photos of it the other day with my black goon. And got my Hex Angel with my purple goon. I have more than 2 mods going on today.
Show off.
No, believe me, it's a rare occurrence. Got my daily, limitless, normal, the original guy, whereas never find the icon when I want it. There it is. On my keyboard. And I've got limitless plus going on my Tesla. So, and across all 4 mods, I literally have 2 juices happening. Don't fall over. Jackie, love you out there in the chat box. Bliss, her newest creation, I Vape Australia. This is not the public label. This is the coming soon label. I'm trialing it before it gets released to the public. And we have Sugar Baby, which is an all-day vape of mine that you guys hear me go on and on and on and on about. I Vape Australia out there in the chat box. Miss Jackie, I love your work, darling. You know I do. So, that's Mox's wee little buffet. I could pull them all out, but, you know, that's effort. That's effort. And right now, YouTube is taking all of the effort. It is taking all of it.
Is that stuff we can get in the US or no? You
Yes.
guys keeping it
No,
all to yourself?
No, they, I believe, Jackie, correct me if I got this wrong, I believe they ship internationally, globally.
Nice.
iVape, it's ivape.com.au. I believe that's your URL, Jackie. ivape.com.au. No, it's .com.au. If you put in iVape Australia into Google, you'll come up with an iVape Australia link. It'll redirect you to the ivape.com.au one because they own both domain names. So you will find them. iVape Australia. They are a brand. They own iVape Australia or iVape in Australia, but there is iVape branding and shop names in the US and elsewhere in the world as well, but they all, albeit under the same like brand title, they all individually own their own businesses where they are across the world. So yeah, it sounds like they're part of the iVape franchise, but no, they're just the Australian version of please YouTube, come on now. I'm just getting frustrated over here watching all these things come up on my screen.
Oh, no.
Please.
No.
I know.
Oh, there it is. Yay.
And
I'm taking notes here.
don't even know why right now at all. Modem's good. Everything's good at my end except YouTube-ishness.
I thought you said you too. Yeah, we were a problem.
No, YouTube-ishness. There we go. Thanks, Megan. Linky link out there.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm just apologies if you're out there hanging with us live. Apologies. We're just going to carry on. Yeah, thank you for coming and hanging. If it is too painful to watch, again, apologies. We're just going to carry on. I'm not going to piss around playing with the stream because it just fucks me off more, to be quite honest. We're just going to carry on, and you just might have to come back and watch the replay later if it is too painful for you right now. So, moving right along. Hey, Christine. How you doing, honey?
I am good. I'm so happy to be hanging with you guys tonight.
Yeah, totally. Tell our viewers, because, you know, just reminding you that you're talking to far more than just the US out there right now. We have our Kiwi viewers, we have a few Australians, we have a few from the UK, and dotted places in between, you know, a couple of Russians, a couple of Germans, a couple of Portuguese. Yeah, the diversity of the audience is well widespread. So, whereabouts in the States are you, honey? Where are you chatting to us from?
I am actually in a little state called Connecticut, which has like the highest taxes in the US. So if anyone wants to move to the States, don't come here. But yeah, born and bred here in Connecticut. So, yep.
Yeah, Zach, you can come chill with us here in NZ. You know you're welcome, honey.
I'm going to probably need a plane ticket too.
Yeah. Hey, well, I'll just end up having a vape life party on my lawn. Yeah, me and Megan, we'll tuck yous all in. We'll have a US meets Kiwi party, and yeah, your government's fucked, isn't it?
It sure is. Absolutely.
So hang on, just
Absolutely.
totally jumping off a vape topic. Have you had the election yet?
I think this is how bad it is. Voting day is Tuesday.
Okay.
My Tuesday.
Your Tuesday? So our
Yeah, 'cause
Wednesday, right.
And the only reason I know that is my son doesn't have school. Otherwise, you know, I wouldn't know. Because I still haven't decided if I'm going to the polls to vote, to be honest with you. I just don't, I don't even know. I'm registered. I just don't know what to do at this point.
So there's still a couple of days worth of crazy left going on over there.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Okay, good to know.
It'd be very international here in New Zealand.
Somebody told me today that you guys had a new president already, and I was like, really? Did I miss that? Hence why I asked.
Did I miss it?
Yeah.
Was I taking a nap or something?
I thought I'd better check on that one. That's why I asked. Cool. So you're in Connecticut, honey. All right. And you guys are just going into winter, so it's getting a little fresh over there.
Yes. We're technically fall, but our falls, thanks to global warming, our falls and winters sort of mix together, as do our spring and summers. We kind of skip fall, go into winter, and then skip spring and go into summer. That's kind of how it works. So
awesome. That sounds like not fun. One extreme to the other.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Chris, we haven't known each other very long, yet we're still relatively new friendies, getting to know each other and what have you. I want to know about your vape journey, honey. How long have you been vaping, and what's got you to where you are right now, hanging out on YouTube? So, tell us about your journey.
Well, okay, if people want to listen to me talk for a few minutes. I started vaping in 2011, and it was actually kind of a funny story. I lived in a condo right next door where my daughter lives now, and it was a one-bedroom loft, and my son was up in the loft, and he didn't have a closet, so we got him one of those portable zip-up ones that you can just zip it like a wardrobe. And one day he came home from school, and I would always smoke, but I would smoke outside, but with the door open, not thinking to myself, okay, smoke might still go inside, whatever. He came home and he says, Mom, you really need to stop smoking because everyone at school is making fun of me. And I'm like, oh yeah, right. I just dismissed him. I said, come on, I smoke outside. Like, you can't, that can't be, like, whatever. And then about 2 weeks later, he came back and he said, no, really, Mom, everyone says, had just started middle school. Oh, was he? Yeah. And he just said, everyone makes fun of me. My clothes stink and, all this other stuff. And the second time I just said, that's it. And I went out and I got myself a little, the little cartomizer, e-pens or whatever, not even the pens, the little, and I haven't had a cigarette since. I mean, that worked for me for a good 3 years. I didn't know anything about the vaping community. I didn't know there was a YouTube vaping community. Like, that was, I happened to pass the vape shop and I walked in and I saw this stuff and I was like very overwhelmed. And everybody was kind of like telling me all this, oh, you should get this, 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 and this. And I said, okay, I'm going to go home because I'm a big Googler and YouTube, I have another channel. So, I said, I'm going to look it up. And I looked some stuff up and I go, wait a minute, oh my God, there's a whole YouTube vape community. And then I started, searching through Facebook and I'm like, wow. And I just started joining every single group that, you could and everything like that. And yeah, and so I started, moving up with devices. I mean, I think, everyone had the K, they moved up to real devices. I had the Kanger, box first, and then just kept going and going and going. And as I was watching, other YouTube reviewers, I was like, I could do this. it was just one of those. I had already had another channel. I was quite familiar with YouTube, and I started to get to know people in the Facebook groups and everything like that. And I was just like, yeah, I can do this. And I just turned my camera on one day and made my first video, which was horrible. If you guys want to go watch it, go ahead. It was quite comical, and it was awful. I have not taken it down though, so everyone can laugh at me because that's always fun. And yeah, and it just went from there. So
how long have you been on YouTube? And
I have
doing
actually
reviews and what have you?
Doing my reviews, I want to say it's been, I'm so bad with time, but I want to say it's been 6 months. I want to say it's been 6 months. I'm sure somebody could look that up and let me know. But as far as vaping reviews, 6 months.
So you were actually on YouTube doing other things prior to your vape review channel, weren't you?
Yeah, I have over 2,000. I've kind of, that channel has gone on hiatus for now. And it started off as a candle wax review channel. So, like the little wax melts that you put in, your warmers and stuff like that. And that was huge. And, I got most of my following from that. And then that kind of overtook my life. And then, as with any sort of community, sometimes, they get sketchy. And I just said, the day came where I was like, this isn't fun anymore. I started doing freelance makeup. I was working at Sephora. I said, okay, let's start doing makeup. And so I kind of just switched the whole, channel to that, and basically lifestyle, like Chris just talking about whatever the hell she wants to talk about. And, because it was a forum where I could just give my opinion and state what I think was going on in the world or whatever, I wanted to, bitch about that day. And yeah, and since my, subscribers were very loyal and stuck with me, and, so yeah.
Cool, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then, like I said, and then I found this vaping, and I just, from then on there, and the whole vaping community has been absolutely amazing. I have yet to, I probably shouldn't say this out loud because I'm probably jinxing myself, but I really have yet to have trolls. Like there's been maybe a few comments here and there on a couple of videos, but other than that, everyone's been really, really sweet. Everybody I've met's been really nice. I think we're all in it for the same reason. Well, not all of us, obviously, but, the majority, we know what the point is. And so, it's just been a big, great, happy family. So I love it. Love it.
How long have you been on the part of the Vape Shack crew?
I want to say I got into the Vape Shack crew almost immediately when I realized it was a vape community. And I don't really remember how it came about and how I found it. I know I joined Vaporium. I think there's what, like 3 or 4 of them or something like that. And I think I joined all of them. And Vape Shack was the one that just kind of stuck with me. And so, yeah, I just, so I've been there, I don't know. Matt, I was like, if Matt's still in the room, Matt could probably tell better. Yeah, so I just, like I said, I'm horrible with dates and times and everything like that. I have to put everything on my calendar. But they just really welcomed me in, and it was great. And we just kind of, all hit it off. And so, yeah, I think it's important to be part of something.
Yeah, that whole vape fam concept and feeling a part of something is definitely what community is, isn't it?
Yeah. I do find that very, very rewarding. Where you feel you're actually making, you're making friends, and you get along with people, you're making friends. And it's like, even, with you girls across the country, we've, been in Zoom a couple times, just hanging out and stuff. And it's just cool, to know that you can talk not even just about vape stuff, but just about your family life and regular stuff. And, you know, you don't have to feel, because I stay at home, I'm on disability. So most of my time is spent alone, and it gets really boring. I don't know how many times I can do the laundry and fold it, or, you know, watch the kitchen floor. It gets so bad. So it's really, you know, it's cool to have people to just, you know, sit and chat with and stuff like that. It's really neat. And then the fact that we have, you know, a similar hobby and interests just makes it even better.
That's what I love about the Drippin' Dolls, why they exist, and the what's the word I want? The camaraderie between the females. I mean, yeah, there is no denying when women get together, it's either going to go one of two ways. We're all instant best buddies, or we're all instantly hate each other, and you know, you're a bitch. Whatever.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
yeah, there have been a couple of personality clashes over the last couple of years, but with the dolls in general, I love that whole, oh my god, the vape world on the general is so overwhelming and male orientated, and all of this terminology and lingo that people don't get. And I love how we can bring women into the dolls and talk shit just like women, having our little bitch sessions, our day-to-day, talking about the hubby, the kids, the job, the whatever, but we're all on that same level where we can interact as just as women, as sisters across the globe, and all have that same and the range, even not just all of us being hobbyists, you know, from beginners right through to advanced, and we've all got it's actually not even a hobby. It's basically we've all got a common ground interest of the cause. We wanted to better ourselves in our lives, didn't we? So we're all being a support group. And, you know, sisters holding each other up when the days are shit and you want to kill the kids and throw the hubby out and strangle the dog and, you know, oh my God, somebody give me a cigarette, and we're all supporting each other to vape and not smoke. Yeah, that's what I love about the dolls, and even women like yourself who are a relatively new doll to our group. It doesn't matter, you know, and welcome you in. Hey, a new sister, come on in, girlfriend, you know, and chill and hang out on that total global community level. I really think highly of what the dolls stands for more than the physical group itself, but what it stands for within the wider, greater community feel of what the Vape Fam stands for as support for each other as well. I don't know. Have you really encountered anything along your journey as a YouTuber, as a day-to-day vapor, a woman walking down the street, whatever? Have you ever encountered anyone that has just been totally negative on you for being a female vapor?
Absolutely. You know, it's funny too. I mean, I have many male friends, you know, in the vaping community, so I certainly don't, you know, you guys out there, if you're my friends, this is not directed towards you. You know, but there has, you know, I think it's kind of funny, you know, you hear about the boys club or the gentleman's club. I think anywhere in any community, there's sort of that bubble thing where women are kind of like knocking on the door, hey, can I come in? You know what I mean? And they're like, no, you know, they're still kind of stuck in like 1950, you know what I mean? Like, no, get in the kitchen, you know, kind of mentality. And, you know, on YouTube, not so much. In Facebook groups, absolutely. You know, I've made statements and it's, you know, they've either been totally ignored, like, or you know, nobody will say anything, and then a guy will post the exact same thing that I just posted. Like someone will pose a question and I'll answer that question to the best of my knowledge, and then totally ignored, and then a guy will post it, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh yeah, thank you so much. And I'm like, hello, you know what I mean? Like, here I am. You know, so, you know, that kind of thing. And, you know, absolutely when I first, I mean, not when I first started, but once I really became, you know, a vapor in the sense of, I mean, we're all vapors, obviously, no matter what you vape on, that's fine. But, you know, kind of, you know, branching out and, you know, upping my game or whatever you want to call it, you know, walking into vape shops, especially owned by men, and they automatically go to, you know, almost like the little girls section, you know, like, oh, here, you want this little cute, you know, whatever pink sparkly thing. I'm like, no, you know, actually, I was kind of thinking more along that lines, or, you know, or like, or do you know how to build? Do you know this? Do you know that, you know? And, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think it's sad because I think it just goes to show you, as much as our society has progressed, it makes me think to myself, have we? You know, have we really? We all would like to think we have, but in actuality, but you know, then again, too, it could be a generational thing also. You know, if you go into a vape shop and it's owned by, you know, maybe an older gentleman or something. I mean, some people are just, you know, could be aged. I mean, it could be a lot of things, but yeah. You know, so I'm just always polite and just say, no, you know, I was thinking more along the lines of this and whatever, and, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, you know, I have.
I always get to a point where, like, polite will go so far, and then it's just like, all right, you want to play the big testosterone ball swinging game? I'll play this game with you. And yeah, and you know, all right, you know, what about this, and this, and you know, put the guys in their place. That's what I love doing, and that's when they step back and go, whoa, bitch knows a thing or two.
Like, do you even know how to build? It's like, oh, let's sit down, you know? You build something, I'll build something. Let's do it. We'll do it together, you know?
It was an interesting thing because, like, I've heard like stories and stuff in regards, like, when I joined like the Drippin' Dolls and then found out the backstory behind like the creation of it, I was like, and then it made me think about our community here in New Zealand, and it's, yeah, the dynamic is so different. Because I never had that experience with any of like our male counterparts or like our male vapers. They've always been like really helpful and would answer like any questions. I've never felt that I've ever been, I guess, like, I don't want to use harassed,
but like almost talked down to a little bit, sort of, like, yeah.
I've never experienced it myself. So, and it made me think, and it's like, well, the guys here in New Zealand are like a different kind of species.
Yeah, but that's cultural. I mean, you know, you get that, you know, my fiance is Croatian. So we go through that all the time, that cultural difference. And you know, I think I'm speaking, you know, English, and, you know, and there's just certain things that he's just not going to agree with and not going to get or understand, where I'm just, you know, he's very old school, traditional, and I'm just, you know, hey, pink polka dotted, rainbowed, whatever, I don't care. I'm down with it. As long as you're nice to me, I'm nice to you, kind of thing. You know, and I think that it's, you know, it's cultural. So unfortunately here in the US, and, you know, I mean, it's not just the government that's fucked up, honestly. You know, I mean, it's sad, but people are kind of stuck in their ways. And, you know, I think a lot of, you know, other countries they're growing and they're developing and they're getting it, that, you know what I mean? And I think the US is kind of stuck in this time warp where, you know, in all.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen some where they like sort of like stuck in like a time warp of sorts, but not necessarily like in the vaping community. Like in saying that, the first person that sort of comes to mind is like a cousin of mine, raised by my grandmother. So he was raised with like that mentality, like the woman is supposed to stay home and be the house, you know, the homebody, and have the meals, and they're like going to be done at a specific set of time. And it's like, cousin, you're like a year, 2 years younger than I am. You need to be, come on, get up with the times.
Right.
And yeah, it took him a while because it was just what he was used to, because that's what my grandmother did. He always made sure that he did what he's supposed to do in terms of like being the man of the house, like with his chores and what have you. And she always made sure that the meals and everything were all done and that the house was kept up to a like a proper standard. And it's like, look, because you're not going to come across a female or a partner in this time of the day and age.
Yes.
It's going to be like Nan.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
It's we have evolved as women, and I think sometimes men just don't get that. You know, they either don't want to, or they don't, or they're afraid. I mean, I mean that's just how it is, and it's sad, but especially if if they're younger. I mean, like I said that with my fiance. I said, you're not gonna, unless you meet like. I was never accepted like from day one. I wasn't like a nice Croatian woman, 19. So it was like, it's like, who's this? What? Okay. I mean, his family loves me now and everything like that. And it's great and stuff like that. But I kind of knew going in that this might be kind of an uphill, battle. And we just decided that we're just going to do this together regardless. Whereas, with my family, he was immediately accepted, but he's 13 years younger than me. And so, like you were saying, it's like, it's there's nothing wrong with being old school and traditional.
No, of course not.
You also have to kind of be open-minded at the same time, because especially if you're younger, if that's what you're expecting, which is natural for all of us. We are who we were raised with. So that's what we know. You're not going to, like you said, you're not going to find that person. So, and like I said, for the most part with the vaping community, everyone's been pretty decent so far. I haven't really had, too much, I've actually had more problems, honestly, with women than I have. And it's just been cattiness.
Is that like in regard to reviews and comments on your videos, or is it just general straight up interaction on Facebook?
No, I think it's other female reviewers. Yeah, I think it's the female competition thing, which I don't think we're competing. I think everybody has their own little niche. Yep. You know what I mean? Everybody has something to, give. I'm never going to be, a technical reviewer. I'm never going to be a Daniel or whatever. It's like, that's not going to be me. And there's plenty of women that I know that, yeah, I think could probably tear something apart. And, like Megs, if she ever got on YouTube, like I'd be like, well, oh, okay. Yep. That's who I got to go to watch, if, but I'm just like, I'm more of the, okay, if you want to know what all the buttons do, read the instructions because they come with instructions. And I will, just tell you, okay, hey, I've had this mod for this long. I vape on it every single day, and I'll give you the my pros and cons. And, then you make your decision from there. But no, it's just, when women, like MOXLEY was saying, when women get together, for some reason, there always has to be some sort of cattiness. So, I find it very sad. We should be, as much as we do, and like I said, I mean, it's when I entered the Dripping Dolls, it's like there's been Facebook groups that I've joined, and it's like, hey, my name is, and here's my story, and then there's crickets, and it's like, I went to the Dripping Dolls, and everybody was like, my notifications kept going off. It's like, hey, welcome, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, wow, this is really cool, because, but I'm also one of those people that I really try not to let it get to me. I just say, okay, I can give 0 fucks and move on because not everyone's going to like you. And that's just how it is. So those who do and like me and enjoy, what I do, and then that's cool. And if you don't, then you don't have to talk to me. That's fine.
That's pretty much
it's
how
going to be like a personality clash. and things like that. Although I did have like an interesting interaction with a local vendor at one of our vape meets. That was about a month ago, just checking out the date, and and just suddenly out of the blue, I'm sitting at a table with like a few other people in this vendor, and he turns around to me and he goes, "Megan," and I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "Is there anyone in the vaping community who doesn't like you?" And I'm like, I assume that there probably is, but they have to my face.
Exactly. And if they don't like you to your face or behind your back, they're probably a woman, to be honest.
Well, it was kind of funny, like when he brought it up, because he said that just from watching me interact at the vape meet, is that anytime anyone was leaving vape, yes, they went out of their way to say goodbye to me. And it's like just about everyone was like, "Oh, well, I'm heading off, Megan. It was so good, like meeting you and everything." And then they go to say goodbye, and it's like I get a hug, and it was like, "Catch you next year," and it's like, "Cool." then they leave. And because every interaction that I've had with somebody has always been like really, really friendly, and it never, I never thought about it. Because it's never really ever been on the forefront of my mind when it comes to like the community, it just seems like as though you have a really likable personality that everyone just seems to be drawn to. And I was like, "Oh well, thank you." Like, I've never had anyone tell me that, and it's like, yeah, and so having him ask me that was like, "Is there anyone out there who doesn't like me? Who doesn't like me?"
It's like, "Do you know something I don't know?"
Yeah.
No? Tell me now.
Yeah, I mean, it was very tempting to say, "Well, has someone told you something?" But yeah,
I'm the complete
it's
opposite
funny.
to Megan. You either love me or you hate me. I rub a lot of people the wrong way, and you get on with me straight off, or we don't gel straight off. I'm very much not so much bitchy catty. I'm just loud and opinionated, and I've got things to say. And if you don't agree, sweet as, don't listen. If you don't like me, I don't give a fuck. Mosey on. I'm just. I got shit to say, and I'm loud and strong in my opinion, and I think that in itself is it. I get two reactions from other women. I either get the she's just attention seeking type, I'm going to ignore her because she's so loud and outgoing type of reaction, or I just get the outright jealousy from my confidence. And it's either one or the other is my reaction from other females. And I intimidate a lot of males as well. Don't get me wrong. It's not just the girls that run away. But I find it quite interesting. Yeah, the mix up between women specifically, and I personally, like, my perception, I watch a lot. I people watch a lot, whether that's online in the groups on YouTube, sitting in the vape lounges on video chat. I will watch. People watch a lot, and I often find that those catty reactions, if not instigated by an incident, it's generally jealousy. It's straight up enviousness that I meet someone for the first time. Well, she's more beautiful than me, or she's more confident, or she's just got a presence, or whatever the fuck. But I often see it as a envious reaction from other women, a jealousy of sorts. And I'm generalizing, and of course just my opinion, but I don't know, that's what I usually feel. And it's quite cool, like you say, with the dolls, to get welcomed with open arms, and to not feel like you've walked into the little rich girl's party and all of a sudden you're out of place and you're like, "What the hell am I doing here?"
Right.
Opened with welcome arms because we got another sister in the group. that community. It comes back to community, no matter which group, what corner, who you are, which little niche part of the community, which level of the hobbyist, you know, it comes back to actual fucking community and being nice to one another, doesn't it? Ah, big loves, Freshie. I see you out there in the chat box, honey.
Yes, Fresh.
Yeah.
We love you. And you know what? And it's funny too, because envious, you know, it has such a negative connotation, like jealousy or envy. And I don't, you know, it's true, because I think everybody has their insecurities. And I can look at MOXLEY, or I can look at OHMag and be like, you know, there's something about her that I don't have that I wish I had. You know what I mean? I just don't have that in me. And some people, I mean, I can look at it. I mean, being as old as a dinosaur that I am, I can recognize that and say, okay, that's not their issue, that's my issue. You know, but I think a lot of that comes with age and wisdom, and sometimes it never comes to people. And you know, it's just, you know, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's, you know, because what I try to do is say, okay, well, if she can do this, you know, then well, push yourself, Chris. Push yourself harder. You can do it too. You know, she's not better than you, and she's not claiming to be better than you. You know, I think the women especially get intimidated. They're almost like, oh, okay, you know, well, you think you're better than me. I've had people say that to me. It's like, those words would never come out of my mouth. Those are not Chris words. Like, so when I hear that, I'm like, wow, you're definitely throwing your insecurities at me, because that would just never happen. You know, so it's funny how that works. I think especially with women, you know, men are kind of still at that stage where it's like, you know, hey, we can, you know, fist fight and I hate you, I can't stand you, and beat each other up, and then let's go have a beer. You know?
Yeah.
Where women tend to just kind of hold on to stuff more, and they're like, you know, and it's just like, you know. So.
Okay, I'm totally changing the topic just because you can answer a question for me, Christine. Thanks, Rob. What the fuck is foosball?
Oh, foosball I used to have a foosball table in my apartment. It is a, I'm trying to think of how to explain it to you guys.
The hockey table
with the little men.
With the handle.
Oh, with
yes,
the little men.
And you try to score into other people's
Right. I got you. Okay, I know. I do know what it is. I didn't even know it was called that. I do know what it is.
Okay, so, I don't know if I should call it like soccer or football. Like I would say it's like a soccer kind of table, but then I know soccer and football in different countries is different. So you know that.
Here in New Zealand, I've only ever seen like soccer variations of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was meant to say. And hockey fell out. It's like, no, we didn't. No, it's not that. It's the soccer, football.
Right.
Rob, I can watch you play foosball, but no, I'm not interested.
It's fun. It's fun. It's actually really fun, and it gets quite intense.
I like I don't actually know what it's called properly. Megan, you might know, and I don't. At timeout, the magnet air hockey thing. Is that what it's called? Air hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just got like pucks that are magnets, and you're on a table and shunting shit around. Yeah, okay, I'll play that.
I hate that game. My grandson, we go to the arcades, he always wants to play that, and I always get hurt. I always get injured playing air hockey. You know, everyone tries to hit it super hard, you know, and my finger gets stuck or something, you know, like gets in the way. Always, I'm like, that's a dangerous game. Children should not be playing this game. I'm sorry.
It's funny because it's like, yeah, that's another one that I'll play if we happen to go to like the arcade or whatever. And I'm one of those people that are like would try and hit it as hard as possible.
It bounces off the wall.
I do the full bounce shot, and the bang. Do you have to hit it so hard? You can hear it just go bang bang.
Yep. And you're always like, I always get it in my own goal because everything's going so fast. I'm just like, you know, and I'm like, I'm horrible. I'm horrible.
Yeah, I've done that a few times whenever I've played it, hit it so hard and it's just bounced back and just gone into my ones.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's about right. That's how my day's going.
Yeah.
Well, that was just a random side jump off vaping, wasn't it?
Well, it's funny because we're trying to talk about, like, you know, we see stuff in chat, like we're trying to talk about it. They can't hear us anyway. Like, I can't hear. We're just talking amongst themselves, and we're like just talking amongst ourselves.
I'm gonna be quite I'm just looking at Rob's comments. He's swapped accounts. I'm gonna be really interested to see what this replay actually rolls back like.
I know.
It's okay, Chris. If it just turns all fucky, we will just have you on another day, my dear.
That would be good.
Because sometimes, you know, YouTube just likes to fuck with us.
I know. It's a love-hate relationship.
Isn't it though? Oh, please. Here we are trying to fucking do some sort of vape-related something, and YouTube, we know you're trying to kill the vaping game. It ain't gonna happen. We ain't going nowhere.
I think YouTube is sexist right now, actually. They got 3 women here on the screen, and they're like, oh, we're going to fuck this all up. I think so.
No, it's just too many females in one area.
We're going to put a squash to this one.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Like, YouTube's just outright lying to me then, because it actually says our stream health is like sweet as, and for it to be so much lag or buffer or fucking both, like, YouTube's just telling me lies. It's just lying to me.
It's playing the same 10 seconds over and over.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's good. Like, man. Well, the men out there should have just showed our boobs for 10 seconds and then they wouldn't be complaining. If that just like, if that was on nobody, right? Nobody would be complaining.
Oh, I am trouble in that chat box, I'll tell you. No matter whose show I'm on, I am trouble in the chat box. Have you ever had a troll comment on any of your videos, hun, that's just like totally stuck with you over the last few months?
That stuck with me. I had something kind of shady happen, and this was kind of funny. It wasn't really a comment. It was more of what happened after the comment. I'm sponsored by Cloudbox, so I don't know if you guys have that there. I don't think I think he's kind of small. So
no, but I've heard of him.
But like Vape Box or any of those kind of subscription boxes. So I love it. I absolutely love it. I 100%. I've spoken to the owner on the phone many times. He takes what I say into consideration, which of course that's always a plus. I think it's amazing. He's changing stuff up, due to my ideas and everything like that. And, a couple things coming down the pike and stuff like that. And one guy came on and said, that's the box sucks. It's all clones and house juice or whatever the deal is, right? And I said, well, you're certainly entitled to your opinion. That's what I said. I said, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just, those people out there would like to see it. Here it is. This is my video. And if you want to, here's my code. I don't get anything monetarily out of it, but you guys do. You get 20% off your first box. And then to find out there was a video that somebody else, a male that I was subscribed to, who did a video on the Cloudbox, and he hated it, tore it apart, okay? And this one guy went from my video and said, if you really want to, that's what he said. He said, if you really want to hear what Cloudbox is about, go watch so-and-so's video And so I went and watched so-and-so's video, and I looked, I'm like, wait, I'm subscribed to him. And he actually, this troll, we'll call him, puts in the comments, oh, I just came from Beauty's channel and told them to come watch your video so they could really know what it's about. And the guy was, the creator, content creator, was commenting and having conversation, and I was like, this was all fine and dandy, right? So of course I spoke up, and I was like, first of all, to the troll, I said, you called me a liar, right? I can be a lot of things. I'm not a liar. Okay, so let's get that straight, because I was pissed. Okay, but you don't mean anything to me. Now, I found more disrespect from the other content creator, because they said, and so to him I said, if this is okay to you, your subscribers are going to other creators and saying this kind of stuff, shame on you. So his initial response was, well, I don't have any control over what my subscribers do. I said, okay, but you can be damn sure that if I caught wind of one of my subscribers going to someone else's channel, we would have a talk. There would be some sort of YouTube message going on there where, hey, we don't play that way. That's not cool. We're all in it for the same game, whatever. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, Then he changed his tune and said, please, guys, don't go to other people who, get this box or whatever, Then he changed his tune and he wrote it in the comments. But I thought that was kind of really sketchy. Like, if I had not gone over and said something, then he would have been perfectly okay with that. But then when he got caught out, all of a sudden he was just like, oh, yeah, okay, guys, that's not cool. But again, you either just say, okay, I don't give a fuck, or you speak up. And from, content creator to content creator, I just thought that was, that was bad. As far as, troll, I find that more offensive than just random trolls. I mean, you're always going to have those people who have sad lives and nothing better to do, with multiple accounts, who just come over and, say whatever to make themselves feel better. And you know what? If that made you feel better, whatever the comment was, good. I'm happy. I just always reply with, well, thank you for watching and have a great day. Like, you're not, and I never delete comments either. I always leave them up, because some people, I'll get Facebook messages after, be like, oh my God, whose ass do I need to beat? And I'm like, nobody's, like, just, they're making an ass out of themselves. I'm going to leave the comment up and everybody can see, like, hey. So.
I might jinx it by saying this, but I'm still yet to experience on our show a real troll.
Right.
Again, with the touching of the wood.
The walls in the wood. It's, and it's really funny too, because like I noticed that, like, you guys don't have a lot of trolls. There's some live chats that just are full of, like, I was watching TJ Golf T Vapes. I was watching his show one day, and it was just troll after troll after troll after troll, and I was like, man, like, I love TJ. Like, what I don't know, what has this guy done to anybody to just, some channels, I don't know why, but they're just troll magnets, And then there's channels that I think should be troll magnets that aren't. There's some reviewers out there that I'm like, how any businesses deal with you, I don't know. And you should get trolled all the time. And but you know what? Maybe they do and they delete. So who knows? I don't know.
I find that really quite amusing. Yeah, I've noticed the same thing. Some people seem to be magnets, or just because of a channel name or that person in general, you don't like the look of them. Yeah, all the trolls come and send out the hate. I think the most trolliest stuff I've experienced is when I've been guests on other shows, been a guest on other shows, as opposed to
Yeah.
trolls coming over here and harassing me and Megan and leaving comments on our show. We don't really get that one. You know, a couple of comments about how we sound Australian, or asking where in Australia we're from, and I don't know if those are genuine, we sound Australian to them, or if that's just people trying to rub us, being the whole New Zealand and Australian thing. What do
You sound Australian to me. I mean, no offense, but you know, and honestly, it's it's funny because there are a lot of people that aren't aware that some people take real offense, like, okay, no, I'm not Australian, I'm New Zealand, or I'm not, I'm or vice versa. And because in America, we're American, so it's just, we don't really experience that.
I mean, I do kind of get it because our accents are very similar. I find that the Australian accent has a little bit of twang in it, especially if it's like a really strong Australian accent. I mean, if you were to ever get like a chance to have a look, it should be like on YouTube. There's an Australian show called Home and Away. And there's a character on there whose accent, like Australian accent, is really, really strong and really, really twangy. And it's like, oh.
Right.
Kind of makes me cringe. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like the twangy Australian accent. I'm sorry to those Aussies that are like watching us.
And if you're very twangy.
Yeah, it sounds really harsh. But, I'm trying to find out the best way to like explain it.
It's
I mean,
quite pitchy.
If I could, but
pitchy, like abrasive.
Quite pitchy tones, can be quite sharp. If the person gets excited and get really like ear piercing, it can be quite that twang can be quite pitchy. Similar to how some of your guys' states can have a really pronounced twang. Like Texans as opposed to someone from Southern Alabama, like really pronounced accents. Yeah. I was just going to say that the most like trolliness I've experienced is when I've been on, pick on Mark's show, for example, whether it be in live chat or comments that get put down later, I always get I hate that annoying Australian bitch, her voice is really annoying, rah, 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 and people fixate on my accent and the sound of my voice, and those, it's just like, and I'm just like, I'm not Australian, so I actually take no offense because you're ignorant to the rest of the world.
Right. That's happened to me too, not on, like I said, on other people. I don't have my own live show yet. It's coming. But on other people's shows, I had one person like, but I think he goes and trolls everybody. So I don't think I was anybody special, but it's like, oh, Disney sucks. Like obviously Beauty and the Vape, my favorite movie is Beauty and the Beast. And so that's why I picked the name. And it was like, oh, Disney sucks and you're ugly and you're this and you're that and whatever. And he just kept going and going and going until someone just finally was like, okay, booted him or whatever. But I'm sure that's not the only show that he probably goes. That's probably what he does for entertainment. Maybe he doesn't have cable. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't watch Game of Thrones or something. That's what he does with his evenings. So, but I've never had anybody, like say something really, and I'm the kind of person too, this was on someone else's show and I felt bad because, well, I did and I didn't. It was kind of one of those sorry, not sorry things. Because I just went right back at him. And I was just like, honey, you know what I mean? Like, get back in your basement and, get your nice, hand lotion and do what you do best. And, like whatever. Yeah, we just kept going back and forth until they finally just, were like, this guy's an idiot,
Yeah. When there's someone in live chat, like on Mark's show, for example, just because there's always such a high amount of activity in his live chat, it's a good one to pick on. Whenever I see comments like that, I will get mouthy. I will be that. I'm sorry, you want to say what to me? You come out, you get on a plane, you come here and you say that to my face and see how far you get. I'll get real mouthy on Mark's show because, well, there's two reasons for that. There's I'm not going to put up with someone trash talking me, and just because the live chat's moving so fast, they think A, I haven't caught it, or B, there's nothing I can say back to it. Well,
Right.
yeah, you're wrong on both accounts there. And then there's the third aspect of I'm not just some pretty face that'll go and be a guest on Mark's show and sit there for a bit of eye candy. If I'm on a show, I've got something to say.
Right.
And that's something I think a lot of people are now picking up on me being a guest. I'm not just the latest, oh, Mark's got a token female on the show. Oh, it's the Kiwi chick. Oh, well, the Kiwi chick's mouthy and loud and don't shut the fuck up and can just, like, talk just as much trash as the boys. So, that's, and I think a lot of, I don't like the word fans. My supporters like that
Right.
fact that I'm mouthy and have something to say. But
Right.
I know the trolls in Mark's chat box don't like it, especially the fact that I have a wrench too.
Troll someone without a wrench. There you go. You know, but and that's funny too, because yeah, that's, you know, I think like that goes with the territory. I think there's some people that, you know, just I lost my train of thought. But, you know, using Mark's show as an example, I mean, I think you're going to find more trolls there than you would maybe on other shows, you know, and I think it's almost to be expected, you know, so it's kind of like, okay, whatever, let them, you know, let them have their fun, or, you know, shoot back at them, however, you know, however you choose to deal with it. But I was just reading. I got distracted. I'm like squirrel. I was just reading the chat.
I do that all the time. If suddenly I'm like,
sorry, I was speaking.
Yeah,
that was so rude. But the other thing too that like really bothers me too is like I've had, you know, and I think there's some truth to it. I just find it sad that people will say, oh, well, you've grown so quickly in such a little time because you have boobs. You know what I mean? Or because you're a chick. And it's like, you know what? You know, I can't deny that. Men are men. And, you know, obviously you've seen it. We type in boobs and everybody's like, yay, boobs, you know? Yeah, they're pretty cool things. I like boobs. They're neat, you know? But like you said, it's you know, the people who stick around on my channel will hit me up on Facebook or whatever and say, hey, I got a real question, you know what I mean? Or put it in the comments, or, you know, thank you for this or whatever. So, you know, I just find it sad because again, we're kind of going back to and not all men are like this, because I'm never going to say all men, but like women we don't have a brain. We're eye candy.
I know, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't have anything to, you know, to talk about. Like that's, you know, we're just there to, you know, I know, for example, like Zophie Vapes. Do you know her at all? No?
Oh, hang on. Something happened at my end. Sorry, repeat that, love.
Oh, I said like Zophie Vapes. Do you guys know her?
I haven't spoken to her, but I know who you're talking about. Yep.
Okay. Well, what's sad is I met her in a event here in Connecticut, and she's actually really very sweet. I think what happened is she started off her channel using her sexuality and kind of got caught in this bubble. And so now when people talk about her, and even though now she's very professional, and she does good reviews. In my opinion, I think she does good reviews. You know, you read her comments, and it's just like, you know, like she came out with a juice line. Oh, I'll drink your juice, blah, 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 blah. Like, and, you know, and I'm like, man, you know, sometimes women do. They you know, they do put themselves in their own predicament. And then they're like, how did I get here? Well, you know, what are you going to do? You kind of did it to yourself. And then on the other hand, you know, it's just sad that, you know, sometimes we're not taken as seriously, but, you know,
It's almost like we have to prove our intelligence sitting above the boobs. And it's like brain, eyes, boobs. No,
Right.
brain up here. Hello? Yeah.
You know, and again, I think that kind of, like I said, it goes back to just the difference between men and women, period. I mean, women can be as raunchy as men. That's, you know, I mean, we all know that, girls. Like, you know, we're not any less raunchy. I think it kind of goes back again to that, like, you know, 1950s kind of thing where, you know, women were made to just sit there and look pretty and, you know, cook in their, you know, nice little dresses and everything like that. And, you know, your husband speaks and, you know, does all this stuff. And, you know, I mean, I don't know. I wish it would change, because if people actually got to know me, I've heard people say, oh, you're so stupid. You know, you don't even know what you're, I'm like, I worked for the Attorney General's office here in Connecticut for 20 years. I've been in the law field ever since I got out of high school. So I'm not dumb, you know? And so it's, I'm sorry if you think I'm good looking and that equals I'm dumb, but that's not my problem, you know?
I think that's just a general old-fashioned way of thinking, isn't it? Like, okay, so when I first found the Drippin' Dolls, I was in Juice Junkies on Facebook. I'm still a member of Juice Junkies. I have no idea why. I haven't literally looked in that group in over a year. And I was a female absolutely lost amongst that complete testosterone persona, you know, the my dick's bigger than yours testosterone type mentality between them all. Oh, I've got the latest mod. Oh, I've built these coils. Fucking, my shit's the shit. I'm just the bomb. Me.
My clouds are bigger than yours, you know, whatever.
It actually didn't matter what was they were trying to portray. It was just the I'm the man type mentality. And I noticed that, and again, I'm generalizing, not all men. I am generalizing. But Juice Junkies is a horrible place for it. It's a global group, so you've got effectively wankers from all types of cultures and walks across the globe. Sexist and bigotry, oh my god, just everywhere. You know, I couldn't even ask a question about a particular type of wire for a build and, you know, and word it. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm trying to achieve. I just like your opinion or somebody else's opinion on how might they go about the same scenario type of wording, you know? And I would just get torn to shreds because it's a female face in that profile picture. Well,
I love that.
Yeah, it's like, you know, come back with valid information, correct invalid information, you know, in response to whatever their smart assness might be, tear them down a peg or two. But the reality is, in a group like that, when I think it's at like 70 or 80,000 people now, it was just hitting 40 when I was in it, and sorry, actively participating in that group, and it was just so much frustration. I was like, okay, there might be one person out there who would see that question who would try and actually answer you, and the rest of the thread is just
nothing constructive.
Yeah, every other direction except constructive about your original post. And then Megan Sykes, not our Megan here, but Megan Sykes is the founder of the Drippin' Dolls. She's in Texas, and she created the dolls because she was also one of these girls within Juice Junkies and other groups within Facebook who is having the exact same effect. Exact same environmental going on for her no matter where she went. You know, we're trying to learn, we can YouTube, we can read shit, we can do this, that and the other, but we want to gain information from your experience, you know, another vapor's perspective. Have you been through this? What did you learn from it? What tips have you got for me? One getting anywhere in a place like Juice Junkies. So the Dolls was born for that exact reason. We aren't stupid. We can help each other. And for as much as I still now, and all my endorsement of the Dolls, still get complete and utter shit for it being a sexist group, There's a reason. It has to exist.
And that's see, you can't. That's what I'm saying, and you can't win either way. Because if you want to play with the boys, they don't want to. It's almost like it reminds me of a little schoolyard. It's like if you want to play with the boys, they don't want to play with you. So then when you say, okay, well, I'm going to go over here and play, oh, all of a sudden it's a sexist group. It's like, well, I tried to play with you and you didn't want to be nice. You know, the thing I hate the worst is if you pose a question. Now, everybody was a beginner at some point, and everybody, I don't care who you are. Okay. And I'm sure Megs can agree. Megs, do you think there's nothing left that you can learn about building coils?
There's always something you can learn.
Always. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's always something that you can learn. So for, someone to pose a question and then get, well, if you don't know how, then you shouldn't be doing it. Or, it's just like, oh, God.
Comments aren't helpful at all. It's like, if they're willing to learn, they wouldn't be asking the question.
Right. Exactly. And those same people were in your position at one point too.
Yeah.
You didn't just wake up one day and be like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I know everything about Ohm's law and I know everything about this and that and everything else. And, okay, I'm the God of everything. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
They want to be the God of everything. That's why their ego's off the ripter and they're fucking like, yeah, man, I'm the shit. I'm the man. Well, fucking, if you're the man, then step up and act like one, because your ego ain't going to give me the answers I need or help me out when I need it or be a supportive part of the community for me as a vapor. That's you that's going to do that and provide those things for another person, not your fucking ego. So step it back and real man up. Do. Yeah, step it back and man up.
Yeah, exactly. Then be a real man or a gentleman. Be a,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Apologies to all of our viewers out there who are men. This isn't a fucking hate game. We're not having a rant at men. We're just explaining there is a reason why these female groups exist. Whether, because the argument of that's just fucking sexist isn't an argument when there is, I think it's a 5-to-1 ratio of men to women on this face of this planet. There's gonna be testosterone and bullshit we're gonna deal with, so of course we want a safe place. We're vapors too. Don't mean we're gonna put up with the shit along the way, really. Oh, bless. Getting all ranty up in here.
I know. You know what it is, and people. There's people. I've had this discussion with men before, and they say, well, women have it easier as far as reviewing. I'm like, we may get more subscribers. That doesn't mean that we have it easier, because there's plenty. Believe me, there's plenty of companies that I've reached out to, and it's like you put figure out you're a female and they don't want to touch you. Well, I don't mean literally. Maybe they do literally, but it's like, no, we'll give it to all the big boys. I'm like, hey, you know what? I can do that too. I taught my neighbor down the street. We met in a Facebook group and realized we lived in the same town, like 5 minutes away from each other. He didn't know how to build. We sat down at the vape shop one day and I just showed him over and over and over again. Now that stuff. Oh God. Oh, Matt. I can't. I'm not even going there.
I love the fact that I've got maybe only 2-3 months on you, Megan. Like, I love the fact that as our own vaping journey, what's the word I want? Progresses. Continues on. That regardless of the wankers that are still out there creating the sexist environments that we need or feel we need to run away from, I get that real warm fuzzy feeling from helping another beginner. Now, I'm not just so there's two warm fuzzies within that one warm fuzzy. One being you're helping somebody else get into vaping, make that healthier alternative. It's not about it's about not smoking and all of that side of the warm fuzzy. And then I get the other side of the warm fuzzy where, you know, somewhere way back in the back of my brain, I'm just going, yep, and a girl's teaching you how to do it.
And that's, and you know what's funny too is like we can have that little self-satisfaction,
Yeah.
but we don't have to, you know, be like nah 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 nah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I mean, and you know, the thing is too about like the discrimination is that cigarettes don't discriminate, cancer doesn't discriminate. You know, people dying from smoking related diseases, there's no discrimination there. Why is there discrimination in the vaping community? I don't understand. That blows my mind. You know?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
A lot of it, I think human nature, a lot of it, whether it's conscious or not, that's also another valid point, you know. But I think a lot of it comes back to jealousy. General human jealousy, gender aside, because it's not always about gender, you know, we just happen to be talking about the dolls. Whether that's they've got a bigger collection because they've been vaping longer, so they know more, you know, like that oh, I want to be that guy, or I want that guy's stuff, or, you know, just general human, I can't have it, or I don't know it, so I want it, and it's either going to go one or two ways. I'm gonna suddenly be your best mate because I want to know you, your information, and play with your toys and your gear, or it'll be the other way of, oh, I fucking hate that person because they're just a bitch and their personality rubs me the wrong way. Well, okay, personality might be a factor, but you could also just be outright jealousy because that person's been vaping longer than you, and with that time they've been in the community longer, their collection's bigger, their knowledge is wider, they've been in the hobbyist of some niche longer, you know, like so much human comes into so many aspects of it. It's fucking, humans fucking frustrate me and fascinate me all at the same time.
Right. It's true. And it's any kind of relationship. I mean, it's a relationship, and any kind of relationship that you develop is, there's going to be trials and tribulations, and there's going to be people that you just don't get along with, and people that you just, and those people I just steer clear of. I've had friends in the vaping community, or I thought was, you know, friends. Somebody in chat mentioned one. I'm not even going to repeat it.
Yeah,
but
I saw that.
you know, and you know, I got fed to the wolves. And I was just like, okay, you know what? That's fine. I just disassociate, and that's all good. You know, wish you the best, and I'll do my thing, you do yours. That's cool. You know, I mean, I'm not going to lie. When it's somebody that you really considered a friend, does it hurt? Sure, it hurts. Of course, we're all human. But at the end of the day, you know, like with any relationship, if that person doesn't give, you know, shows their true colors and doesn't give two fucks about you, then do you really want that person in your life anyway? No. You know, you got to just kind of try to hang on to the people that you know are genuine, and, you know, develop friendships from there.
Yeah, that's the hardest one, isn't it, though? Figuring out who's fucking real and who's just going to throw you under the bus when something better comes along.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's human nature in general, though.
It is hard, and everybody's different. You know, where I'm the kind of person that I usually trust first until you've screwed me over, and then, okay, I'm done with you. And like my mother to this day yells at me. And, you know, whereas you, Moxley, might be somebody who's, no, I'm going to sit back and watch you, and you're going to build my trust. You know,
I'm a little bit of both. Depends on the person. What general energy vibe I get off that person straight off as to how I gauge them for further interaction.
Right. And Megs probably just loves everybody, right, Megs? Is it all rainbows and unicorns?
Megan's fucking Switzerland.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I might say that I'm Switzerland, but I'm actually going through like a little bit of drama myself within the community.
You are
And,
Switzerland.
yes.
Don't go into it.
But I am Switzerland. I'm not going to go into it into detail. Chances are I'll probably end up talking to you about it actually, Christine, when we come off the show. But yeah, by all technicalities in the vaping community, I am Switzerland. I will not advise. I refuse to. If anyone is to try and sort of like go, oh, so what do you reckon? Do you think this person's right? Do you think this person's right? I will outright say I'm not getting in the middle.
Right. Not my, what are they, what's that saying? Not my monkeys, not my circus, or something like that. Like, you know, I mean, really, if it doesn't have anything to do with me, then, you know.
That's it exactly like for me. And so if it's not involving me directly, I will not get in the middle of it, and I will not get involved. I will listen, but I will not offer my piece on it.
Because there are people that will just bait you too. You know what I mean? Like they're just going to bait you. It's like you may have an opinion one way or the other, but they're just kind of baiting you, and you just kind of got to sit there and say, okay, does this really have anything to do with me? No. And that's where I kind of just step out of it. I actually got a really scathing YouTube message today from another content creator, and there was a lot of misinformation that was given to this person, and a lot of stuff that was just out and out not true. And I could have responded, but I was like, you know what? No, why bother? Obviously, someone has gotten to this person and her mind is made up, and that's all fine and dandy. You know, I couldn't care one way or another because this person isn't actually a friend. You know, if it was somebody that I really considered a friend, that would be totally different. You know, then I would be like, wait a minute, hold on. Because I'm the kind of person, if someone's going to say something, you know, about me, or I hear something through the grapevine, I'm going to come to you personally and say, you know, like, Megs, what's the deal? Or Mox, what's the deal? Like, I thought we were cool. You know what I mean? Like, did you say this or not? And, you know, and I would hope that I would get, you know, honesty and say, yeah, you know, Chris, what you did, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Then we can talk it out and say, oh my God, because 9 times out of 10, when I rub people the wrong way, and I know I do, it is not on purpose. I am just so fucking sarcastic. It's ridiculous. I'm very crude in like, you know, not on my reviews, because that's, you know, that's a business side. You know, I make my little innuendos or whatever, and, you know, those who know me get it and get a laugh out of it. But, you know, I'm not someone who's going to get on and be like, you know, well, oh, this juice fucking sucks and it's a piece of shit. And oh my God, it's going in the garbage. There's a way to do things. That might be someone's favorite juice or favorite device, you know, and you know, it's just like, okay, these are my experiences, these are my opinions, and you don't have to agree with me, but you can do it with some class. You know, there's a way to say something. People know when I don't like a juice, or if I don't like something, but I don't need to be crass and be like, well, it's shit. And if you like it, then you're smoking crack and you're whatever, you know. I mean, that's just not necessary at all. I don't get that. When I see people like that and reviewers like that, I don't get it. Or if you disagree with them, you know, you're blocked, you're banned, you're whatever. It's like, it's just an opinion. We all can have it. Vaping is not an exact science. Everybody has a different vaping style. You know, some people go for the cloud, some people go for the flavor, some people only do tanks, some people do, but we all got to get back to, why are we doing it? We're doing it to be healthier and to save our lives, and that's the point. It doesn't, you know, the rest of it doesn't matter. You know,
but it does apparently, because, you know, I the biggest question I see is, do I have to grow a beard to vape? Actually, it is this. I see this one everywhere, whether it's in our own New Zealand groups, whether it's on YouTube comments, whether it's in Fagan's group, any of the other boys' groups. I see it everywhere. You know, people go on about, there's a type of man that's a vapor, and he's big and he's covered in tats, and he's got a beard and maybe a gut and maybe a motorbike. And it's like, I actually see this everywhere. Do I have to grow a beard to be a vapor? And it's like, really? Really? Well, if that's the case, fuck, my beard game is out the goddamn window.
My beard game was strong about an hour ago, but before I got on camera, I shaved it off. So
Well, yeah, that. Or hang on. We can play the Mo game. Yeah. See, Megan's got a beard. Megan can do the beard.
There you go.
See, I can't because mine's all on one side, so I just get a Mo.
I just have to find somewhere to actually put it there so that
You could do a purple beard, Chris.
I could, yeah.
Yeah. Goatee styles, just off the edge of the chin. Fuck yeah.
Everybody can screenshot that one.
But it cracks me up how there is a perception that, okay, yes, there are 1,000,001 types of human on this planet, 1,000,001 types of being that is a smoker that can be or will be converted, you know? So that then in turn becomes 1,000,001 different types of human that is a vapor. Well, why do people get this idea that you've got to be a certain type of being to fucking vape? It's about making a healthier choice. It's not about a goddamn image. You know, like that's one thing that gets me. It's like, okay, younger ones, I understand that they might see an image. You know, when we were younger, smoking was apparently cool. That was an image. You know,
Right.
and so for the younger demographic, I can sort of see that cool new image thing look about it. Well, let's put them aside. So we're going to go from, say, 25-year-olds right up to our fucking 90-year-olds, you know? The rest of us, we don't give two fucks about an image. We're trying to kick a goddamn habit that's going to kill us, you know? And I don't understand, and maybe it's just my own general frustration and fascination with the human being as a general. I don't understand why it gets put into people's heads that you have to be a type of person to participate in something that's going to make your life better. You know? It's sort of like the same mentality of, oh, you're overweight, you need to make some health changes, some weight changes, some dietary changes to save your life. Lose some weight, make yourself healthier. You know, that's a personal thing for your body that you need to get healthy for you. Okay, so does that mean all of a sudden we have to be a type of person to go to the gym to get healthy? You know, that's the same sort of mentality that I see it as. Do we have to be this type of person to go off and ride a fucking motorbike or a bicycle even? Well, no to any of it. So why do we got to be a type of person to vape? Well, you fucking don't, do you? It's just about making a healthier choice. Oh my God, humans make me so angry. And then when, you know, you get your keyboard warriors who just think they're goddamn right no matter what bullshit's coming out their fingertips, those are the ones you want to get up there and just go, child, you need some learning, and I need to give you a good smack up the ears.
It's a smack on the ass. That's it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's funny because there's a correlation. You're talking about the gym. I don't know how it is where you guys are, but we actually have all women gyms specifically for that reason. Because women in the U.S. have been, you know, they feel uncomfortable going into gyms with the big, huge, buff guys who are grunting and groaning and whatever, you know, and they're just sitting on their treadmill or whatever. And, you know, they've actually made all women gyms for that reason. So it's funny how the mentality and the stereotypes and all this other stuff, it just transverses, you know, your whole life. It's something I don't think you're ever going to get away from. And you either have to roll with it and do what's good for you and what makes you happy. And if you can lay your head, and that's what I always say about myself, not everyone's going to love me. Okay. I already know that. But do I believe I'm a good person? Yes, I do. Do I do my best every day to be a good person? Yes, I do. And do I try to be nice to, you know, everybody I come across? Yes, I do. And if I can do that and I can lay my head down on my pillow at night, then that was a good day. You know, if I spend time arguing with people that are just ignorant and, you know, whatever, I'm just bringing myself down to their level. And, you know, and it gives me anxiety. It doesn't make me happy. And I have much better things to do. You know, I mean, everyone, I think, especially, you know, in the vaping community, just, you know, just turn around and just count your blessings that you're still here and you made the change to vaping.
Sorry, I'm being distracted by chat now. Fucking humans are fascinated, eh? Fascinating. It is quite amazing the sexism that transcends across all aspects of life, like all aspects. It's fuck, Brian, your comments really throw me. I love all women gyms too. Like seriously.
I could see Brian at an all-women gym, like just peeking through the window.
I know. No. Brian, darling, we know you're sitting in the corner with your fucking one-way mirror just having a fap. You know, you're taking over the manager's office, bro.
You know how there's a gym here in right down the street that I'm a member of, and they have the stair stepper, you know, the actual stairs that go around, and those are facing inwards, but they're right at the window.
Yeah, so one-way mirrors.
Yeah, so what are you looking at when you walk up to the gym? Ass. That's what
yeah.
I can see Brian in his car being like, yep.
Ass go like this.
You're right.
And then you turn around and the boobs just go like this. Yeah, I've spent some time in an all-woman gym too. Fucking hell, it's just so crack up how, I know, it's like these ideals and these behaviours that we grow up with, that we I guess in some ways, you know, traits, characteristics that come from your parents because they're learned behaviours and mentalities within the home, whether it be old-fashioned, whether it be open-minded, liberal, etc., etc. It's, I don't know, it's like, why can some, and again with the general, why can some people be open-minded and liberal about one topic, you know, like no box, no walls, I am totally open-minded, let's talk about this topic. And then you come around over here and they've got such a goddamn box around this one little ideal, and it's like, you know, can I get my jackhammer out and just like crack your box open? Because you need to have that thinking about everything in your life, not just that topic, you know? And slap some psychology learning up in these peeps and let's fucking evolve, humanity. Like, seriously.
I think a lot of the times that happens too. It's the unknown, the fear of the unknown and what people are afraid of. And so if they know something, they're wide open to it. If they don't and it's foreign to them, they're not. So, you know, I mean, I find that a lot. Like people, I am the most probably liberal of the liberals. Like there's left and then there's Chris. Like I'm just, you know, I'm so left. It's ridiculous. You know, but on the other hand too, I mean, is there certain things that I guess I think to myself, my parents taught me right from wrong. So I'm not so far left that I'm like, you know, I still know right from wrong. So, you know, but.
Are you sure you know right from wrong, Chris?
I do. Doesn't mean I always do the right thing. When I'm doing wrong, I know I'm doing wrong, and I'm probably having fun doing it.
Yeah, I know that I do wrong often on purpose, and I always enjoy it.
But I mean, you're an adult, and I think what's sad though is the kids. Like I look at my kid is 15, my youngest is 15, and I self-entitlement and this, they don't live in a world where I think they don't, honestly, they don't really know right from wrong. With everything that they watch on television and everything else, going on around in the world and stuff like that, I think it's really been skewed for them as far as, and it's scary. I think it's scary.
Yeah.
And there's only so much you can do as a parent. They're not with you 24/7, they're at school, they're, talking to their schoolmates. They're, they spend more time at school than they do with you. So, you try your best to raise them right. And, with ethics and morals and all that kind of stuff. But, you can't hold their hands forever.
Fuck, some of them you don't want to hold their hands. It's like, oh yeah, you need to go and do some learning, do some real learning, do some life experience learning. Fucking kick them out the door.
Yeah.
One end of the extreme to the other. I just want to hold your hand and guide you and like protect you and control your environment. Others are just like, fuck off already.
Yeah. I actually have those two children. My son is, I want to hold his hand and I want to protect him. And my daughter is like, I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, you know what I mean? But I mean, she's 26 years old now. And the problem is I've watched her make the same mistakes that I did. So I can't, and I've tried to talk to her about it. It's like, I know how this is going to turn out. I did the exact same thing many, many times. And she doesn't want to hear it. So sometimes they just have to learn for themselves. So.
Brian's really distracting me in the chat, eh? If only I could actually concentrate on what I want to type to you right now, Brian. I'm not actually gonna write that, but Christine took the words out of my mouth. Oh dear, I don't know what your wife would say, but there's plenty of us who help you out, honey.
Respect to your wife. Mad respect to your wife.
Yeah,
it was a joke. It was a joke. I don't want to get beat up or anything, okay? It was a joke. Yeah, this is good. Pessimists see the glass half empty. Optimists see the glass half full. A feminist sees the glass being raped.
Hey, not true, Zach. Not true, Zach.
Oh, God. I had this conversation.
It's true to a degree. To a degree.
And a vapor says, what the fuck is a glass getting Ozark cup? It's true to a degree, but again, you're always going to have, different sides. Like Billy, Vaping Heathen, he's had this conversation before and stuff, and you're always going to have people who are, you're going to have feminists who are, just kind of your chill feminists, whatever, and then you're going to have your, crazy feminists, and I mean, that's just with anything, I think.
I actually amused at a few people who've come back to chat after leaving earlier because the stream was so bad. The numbers gone up again. Welcome back, church.
Oh, is church back? Yay! Oh man, giving us another shot. That's cool.
Yeah. And I'd just like to say out there to all my live chat supporters, if you didn't know I was a filthy bitch before, you fucking do now. If you didn't know that, you haven't been paying attention over the last year, though. Just saying.
I was in the shack in the lounge talking well, I think it was last night, the night before, and some of the stuff that was coming out of my mouth, let's just put it this way, I'm getting some packages with some toys in them. About these unopened, unused toys. And I said, toys. And I said, I'll take them. And they're like, she's like, really? Seriously? Did you see the size of that thing? I'm like, I'll take it. And I'm sitting there, thank God, like I know everybody in there. But you know, people are like, oh wow, this is a side of you I said, oh, there's many sides to me. You just wait. The more you know me, the more sides you will see.
Sorry, Ronit, I'm going to tell the story. Ronit is one of our younger vape crew who hang out on Zoom with us, video chatting daily within our Kiwi crew here. And I got some vape mail from Fast Tech one day. Megan knows this story. And I forgot what I had ordered. And I opened my package live on Zoom with my crew one night. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I bought a Velocity and I got this clone mech and I'm pulling things out of the box and I'm like, oh, and there's my dildo. Oh, and there's the other dildo. This young kid, he's like 20 odd. And he calls me Vape Mama. And out of our little Kiwi crew, I'm his Vape Mama. Not for anything untoward, just because I am the one that always tells him off, just like his mother does. And yeah, he was sitting there and he was like traumatized and he's like actually like, what the fuck did I just see? Oh my God, I'm scarred for life. And he went on about it for ages and ages. And like every time I mentioned Vape Mail, everyone was like, are you going to scar Ronit again, Mox?
It's funny, like the night that she did that unboxing, I was at my parents' house.
Oh, that's right.
And my dad sitting next to me, and she was like showing, like, got this. And my dad's sitting there just chuckling away. And I went, oh yeah, by the way, Mox, say hi, Dad. Hi. And all of a sudden, like the mortified look switched from Ronit to Mox. She was like, oh my God.
Hi, Steve.
That is so funny. It's funny too because the person who's sending me this said, I think you should like place it right here when you do one of your reviews. Anybody notices. Like, you know, just go on, you know, business as usual. And I'm like, is that a dare? She's like, yep. I'm like, you got it. So coming up.
Did you?
I haven't received it yet. So.
Oh, you so need to. And I will spot it. I will see it. I'll be like, hey, Christine, really like what you're doing with your shelf there, honey.
I like the addition to your shelf.
And then, you know, I'll just be that smart ass and be like, oh, it looks similar to mine. I think we have a size difference. Did you know there's a Jumbo XL in that version?
I'm proud on that.
Oh, darling. Oh, yeah, no, I love unboxings. Actually, however, every time I mention vape mail now, when all the crew says to me, am I going to scar Ronit again? I just look at them, I'm like, how many dildos do you think I need, guys? You know, to be buying one every other week. Like, what? Really? Okay, then. I mean, I know I'm a fiend, but really? You think that of me?
Like, if I'm breaking them that fast, there's a problem there. We have to re-up every week.
Oh, I'm cracking up at how much actually is coming through on this choppy feed. The replay, however, is gonna be a crack up.
Well, see, I think that's how Fast Tech gets you. You know, I mean, a Fast Tech dildo, it's coming from China. It's probably not the best quality. So they're You have to just keep buying them and buying them.
Well, that's just it. The quality doesn't matter when they are so affordable. You can keep upgrading. Just saying. Oh.
Upgrading. It's like, wouldn't it mean that it's like you could just keep buying them, like even if like one just said, "Oh, it's fucked out." It's all right.
Whatever. It's not like you went to some premium store and paid, you know, 50, 60 bucks for it, you know? You're like, oh yeah, whatever. It was 10 bucks, no problem.
Oh, that is hilarious.
I love that Brian's frustrated that his feed's fucked out and he can't hear us anymore.
He's like, I'm gonna reset my router.
Oh, thank you for coming in, hand, Brian. Really appreciate
You
that.
have to watch the replay. You have to watch the replay now.
Oh man. Stop freezing on people. We were going good there for a while, YouTube. Sort your shit out.
Maybe because more viewers came in.
Oh, they've all dropped off again now because the feed dropped out. Yeah. That's alright. Well, I'm quite enjoying this. We're just going to fucking keep rolling until I've had enough. So, what have we not covered, ladies?
Oh, so I mentioned something before we even went on, and if you guys had heard the story about the Winston man, and you had said yes, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's roll on this convo. Yeah, we didn't go very far with it. So I watched a live feed from Aaron. I was trying to think if it was yesterday or the day before, in the last couple of days.
Yep, he's done quite a few.
Okay, I've only seen one. Yeah, just stating that India had refused the Winston man's visa to allow him to be at the Indian premiere with them.
Yes, and the latest one, I think I watched it last night. He had announced that, and they were upset about it. Then he had done something. He had done another one or something, and I friended the guy on Facebook. What's his name? Oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy. David Gerlitz. So I friended him on Facebook. He accepted my friend request, and I was just, giving him, props for still, because he's the kind of guy who gives zero fucks. He doesn't care. So they actually met up in Chicago on their way to India, and he met them in the Chicago airport. And he said, I'm going to go regardless. I'm going to India. If I have to then sleep in the Indian airport, I will sleep in the Indian airport. Like that, I mean, he just said, I'm going to go as far as I can go. I'm just going to, because the reason they said was that and they showed his passport picture that the U.S. had, obviously they had approved it and everything like that. And India said, the Indian whatever said, no, it's too blurry. Has anybody ever had a good passport photo? I know I haven't. So yeah, and he was just saying, I'm getting on this plane. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna do it. Doesn't mean they're gonna let me enter the country, but we'll see. So I haven't heard any updates since then, but I just think it's amazing that anybody else would say, okay, I'm going home, and he's just like, no. And he said, then they're going to a bunch of other, countries and stuff. And he said, I'll be at all of those too. So, I think, it's people like that, I think give this industry hope, when we're all kind of really down and saying, especially here in the US and saying, oh my, we're screwed. We're just screwed. Like, that's it. And I know that I'm going on the 17th to see A Billion Lives here in Connecticut. Yeah, I'm excited. A vape shop is putting it on. And then on the I want to say it's like the 26th or the 27th, a woman that I met, she's she's part of the state Safada chapter, is doing a red carpet. She hasn't released yet. She said there's going to be a celebrity there and a musician there. And she's going to do a red carpet. Obviously, you have celebrities, you have musicians, hopefully you have press. So she's going to be doing that. And then what she's also doing is she's basically buying out spots in the theater. And so every shop in Connecticut can, like, every other week host a showing. So it's something that stays relevant. It's not just like, oh yeah, okay, I saw it, or oh, oops, I missed it. It, you know, it's one of those things that keeps running and stays relevant, which I think is really, really important. You know, because people can watch it and say, okay, I watched it, great, and then it's forgotten about. So I think it's really cool the way she's kind of planning on doing this. So I think that's really, really neat.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Chris, you're going to love the film. You will love it.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. I just wish my mother was here. My mother, who walks into my house, she's a smoker, walks into my house and says, that's worse for you than cigarettes. And I go, Mom, we're just going to have a nice dinner and let's stop talking about that. Because, you know, I get very, very, you know, and I don't want to be fighting with my mom. I love my mom, but, you know, sometimes there's just people that you just can't change their mind no matter what, because they don't have the desire. I mean, the way I figure it, she doesn't have the desire to quit smoking. If she had the desire to quit smoking, she would be curious, you know?
Yep.
She would have some sort of curiosity and want to ask, you know, ask me questions or whatever and get some knowledge. And I think the people who are just like, oh no, it's worse for you, they're smokers and they don't want to quit, you know? They just don't have the desire. So that's fine. You know, I mean, you're not going to change their mind, and I'm not going to keep, you know, beating my head up against a brick wall for sure. But oh, it's Yeti.
That's something that I don't think, maybe some, but not everybody realizes is you know, when they're trying to convert somebody or they're informing and educating. That's fine. All those things are fucking brilliant. But the bottom line before they put down the cigarettes is they have to want to. You know, like, and whether it's a want for house, for money, for their kids, for sick of the habit, you know, like, regardless of the why, the want needs to be there. And I've had so okay, perfect example. I'm not sure if he's still out in the chat. My cousin Cameron. Actually, Megan's mum's a perfect example too. Okay, so Cam's dad has given vaping a go several times. I think Cam has just tried him out on, say, the 4th or 5th device over the last 2 years. And his dad's handed it back to him and said, I've given it a go, just like he has with every other device, but it's not for me. I'm just going to keep smoking. And he's already beat cancer once. There's cancer in their family and other avenues. He's got other health problems, you know, all these other factors. But, and Cam's been vaping 4.5 years. And, you know, like, pushing, Dad, I don't want to see you die. You want to see your grandkids go out. All of these valid arguments, but his dad just hasn't got that mentality of wanting to stop. And you can push and you can push and you can spend money and you can be that annoying nag and educate and inform and shove all this information down their throats, but they're still going to want it.
Yeah, and that's the key. I mean, I told you guys my vaping story, and the first time my son came to me, most people would have said, or not, I'm not saying most people, but some people that the first time might have said, oh, okay, that's enough. And I was like, come on, that can't be true. I wasn't ready. You know, it was something I didn't want, I couldn't wrap my brain around, and I didn't want to believe it. So, you know, it took more than once for him to say something. And then, you know, the second time around, I was like, well, I mean, he's a little kid. He's not lying to me, obviously, you know? So, you know, but that's true, because my dad has had three bypass surgeries. He had his first heart attack at the age of 38. And he had bypass surgery then. He had his second heart attack, I think, at 42. And then went into his 50s, and now there's nothing else they can do for him. I mean, 3 is the limit. And he now smokes cigars. He doesn't smoke cigarettes.
But, you know, for a while there, he was still smoking. And, you know, they're kind of, some people are just of the thing, like, you know what, it's my body, my life, and I'm gonna go the way I want to go. And, you know, I tried with both my parents. And, you know, oh, it makes me cough. Oh, this, oh, that. I'm like, yeah, you know, and smoking does a lot worse. You know, let's try something else. And they're just not interested. So, you know, it's sad. Am I probably going to lose my parents, you know, sooner than I should? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. Who knows? You know, maybe there's people who don't smoke at all and, you know, get cancer and, you know, die. So, or whatever. I mean, you know, it's, you know, so it's hard. But, you know, of course, as your parents, you want them around as long as possible. And that's, I even said to my mom, I said, Mom, that would be like me, you know, what if I, you know, had diabetes and I didn't take my insulin? Would you be upset with me? Yeah. Why? Well, because you know you should be taking it and, you know, it's making you better. Okay. Case in point, same, you know, same thing. But, you know, like I said, you just can't, people have to want it. And that's the biggest thing.
See, does your mum even want it, Megan? Or she just gives it a go because you guys all nag her?
I think to some degree she does want it because there had been a time, I think about 3 or 4 years back, where she had actually stopped smoking for a year, and she did really, really well. Like stopped cold turkey. And then we had a family reunion that she was pretty much organising, like herself, like trying to deal with like the finances and everything, and getting like the last minute payments and what have you during the reunion. And the thing was is that we had shown up to where our reunion was going to be had. It was a week before it started, because when we got up there, my mum had the intention of planting some plants and just trying to make the family homestead that she grew up in, like just to try and make it a little bit more pretty. So she had like this idea of like putting up these plants just around like the garden and stuff, just to sort of try and brighten it up a wee bit. And she stayed smoke free the entire time. She worked, and would only stop until if she wanted to stop for a drink of water. And then a couple of days before the actual reunion itself, family members started showing. And a few of them were sort of like, oh, can you just stop what you're doing and just smoke a break? And it's like, yeah, Mum isn't smoking anymore. And the response was just really, really funny. It cracked me up. I think the first response that I got when I said that my mother wasn't smoking was, oh, fuck off. She's not, no, she hasn't quit smoking. So, no, she hasn't been a cigarette all year. And she's done really, really well. And I think we're about 3/4 of the way through the reunion itself. And we're sitting around having a few drinks and everything. And I'm sitting opposite my mum. And I think one of my cousins was like, you sure you don't want a cigarette, Kitty? My mum was like, yeah, why not? I'll take one. I'm like, Mum. And she's like, what are you saying, one? And I was like, yeah, one then becomes 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then all of a sudden, before we go home, you're buying a packet.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, oh, that won't happen, that won't happen.
Guess what, Ma? It happened.
Yeah. And that's sad.
Like her big motivation with stopping, I mean, health was a factor. That was a factor. The biggest one was that she was able to go into the supermarket, do the grocery shopping, and then have saved that $60, $50, $60 without having to buy like a couple of packets of cigarettes on top of groceries. And she goes, that was amazing. And that was her like her key motivation. She's like, all of a sudden I've got like this extra money because I can buy stuff. And it's like, exactly, stuff. You're not just like buying cigarettes and she goes, yeah, it's great. then yeah, we come back to Wellington, and it's like she started smoking again, and she hasn't stopped since.
Yeah.
Each time both my father and I have been trying to get her to sort of like make the switch, but then it's become, I guess, more aware to me now, like not now, but a few months back. So she has to want to stop again.
Right.
And that's, I think that's currently, I've recently purchased like an IKEA. I'm just waiting for it to come. And I'm thinking that once it arrives and stuff, and I have like a little play around with it, I might actually take it around to the parents and see what mum thinks about it. Like, hey, want to give this a try?
Right.
And see whether or not if that could possibly be an option if she wanted to actually make the switch from smoking to vaping. I would love to see it like stop smoking again. It was an interesting transition, especially right at the very beginning, because mum did smoked a lot due to stress, and she stressed out lots. It came out of her mouth. She got short with a lot of people very, very quickly. When she had coped to not having the cigarettes and things and just kept herself busy and didn't look at everything so negatively, her moods sort of came right again, but with her smoking again, it's like, so yeah, I'm quite annoyed that she had like taken it up. So I'm annoyed at her that she had accepted that women's cigarette at the bloody reunion, and at the same time I'm annoyed at the family member that actually.
Right, it was, are you sure? That's the point I was going to, make up, bring up too. It's like that's so hard, because it's like you're not forcing the person, but it's like telling an alcoholic, you sure you don't want to drink? You sure you don't want to? It's like, why don't you just go in your corner and do your thing and leave this person alone? It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Yeah, and it was like at the time when it was offered to her, it's like, no, please don't take it, Mum. And then she was like, because she had done like really, really well, like through the reunion, like every time she was offered one, she goes, oh, no, thank you, I'm not doing that. And I was like, yeah.
Right, and she finally got broken down. Yeah.
And it's just after just being asked multiple times, because it was something that they were used to. Like they'd never seen my mother as a non-smoker. She was always a smoker. Like I don't ever recall, other than that 1 year where she constantly free, where I'd ever seen her without a cigarette. She's always had it like my entire life. And yeah, and it was just disappointing. And it's like, yeah, when she bought that first pack of cigarettes, I was like, see, Mum, I told you you could buy a packet.
Yep.
This is the only one that I buy, I swear.
We've all said that, oh, I'll just finish this one pack and I won't buy another one, or I'll just bum off people. And, it's like we've all, as smokers, we've all done that, and it's sad. I mean, that's like, to this day, I have not had a drink. And I'm not going to say, I've never been classified as an alcoholic, but in my 20s, I had, Chris either didn't drink, blacked the fuck out. There was no in between. And it caused a lot of problems in my life, with my daughter and stuff like that and everything. And, for a good 2 years there. And I stopped. That was it. And so, I haven't also stepped into a bar since. Because I remember I did one time, I think it was like 10 years. I had been sober 10 years. And I walked into a bar, and the first thing I wanted to do was take a shot. And I'm like, wow, it's been 10 years. Like it blew my mind that the urge was even still there. But you're there, you're watching everybody else have a good time and drink, and you're just kind of twiddling your thumbs, looking around, like, okay, what, almost like, what am I doing here? And, I won't go, I won't. I mean, if if they're having wine with dinner or something like that, that doesn't bother me. But like the bar atmosphere, because I used to bartend, I used to work in a bar when all this was going on. And so, I mean, that was you know, so that was just, I was like, no, obviously that's a trigger for me. So we're just not going to do that. And to just say, I don't even like being around drunk people. I don't like it. And it's everybody's prerogative. Doesn't mean I don't like you. It just makes me very uncomfortable. You know, I mean, you could be a funny drunk, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just, that's my issue. You know, it's not anybody else's issue. It's my issue. You know, but yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, like you mentioned it. I mean, it's like I never had like an issue with drinking or anything like that. But yeah, like you said, it's like in the 20s. Like, yeah, when I was in my 20s, yeah. When we got together, like, it's just about every weekend I got together with friends. Drinking.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, it's pretty much like tapered, like almost right off.
Right.
I can go most weekends and not even like sort of like want to drink or anything like that. And yeah, like Vape, for instance, like the ones that we have here and stuff, we have like little get-togethers. I might have 1, 2 max, only because I am so consciously aware of my vape gear.
Right.
And how much it's worth, and I don't want to lose any of it. I tend to avoid like drinking. So like when we had like our big vape meet in Auckland, it's like I didn't have a single drink, and I drank water throughout the day.
Right.
I mean, it was funny. I mean, I could have let loose in like a number of drinks because I was staying at the venue we were having the vape meet. So it was just a matter of like me, I was carrying just one setup, and it's like if I wanted to switch it out, just go down to my room, switch out the setup and stuff, and then and I still just drank water. But yeah, it's just weird how, as I've gotten older, it's like my mentality towards alcohol has just completely changed.
Yeah.
I'd be quite happy to have like a dinner with friends, and we'll have a glass of wine and we'll talk and stuff, and but yeah, I don't go out of my way to drink to get shit-faced anymore.
Right. And I think that also a lot of that has to do with personalities too, because I've just always been an extremist with everything. Chris doesn't do anything halfway. I either do it or I don't do it. Like, you know, it's either full board or it's not done at all. And, you know, that's carried over to like many parts of my life. And I'm not, honestly, it's not really something I'm proud of, you know, but it's just, that's just my personality. You know, I mean, sometimes you can use it for good, you know, and get a lot accomplished and, you know, achieve your goals and everything when you're that kind of person. But on the other hand, if it's a vice of some sort, you know, like with smoking, you know, it's just, or drinking or any other kind of vice, that's not necessarily, you know, a good thing.
Mm.
I'm very similar to you in that aspect, Christine, of if I'm going to do something, then I'm full of the gate, complete, all in. If that's caught my attention, then I'm there and I'm doing it. If I'm not interested, then I might frame some interest and then be like, fuck that, and there's no follow through because I'm not actually interested. Yeah. I don't know. I just listening to you guys talk, I stopped drinking for over a decade. And in the last year, I've probably drunk more than I have in the last decade. I've sort of gone on a flip side again and gone, well, I'm out of that part of my life, and that was what it was. I'm not going to go into details about that on live show. Yeah, you know, I partied hard as a teen, partied hard in my early 20s. I've always partied hard. And even in that year of, decade of not drinking, I was still partying hard. But yeah, now I'm at a point where it's like, I'll party again in a different aspect. And now it's like, yeah, have a drink or two with dinner with your friends or your family or what have you. But now I'm actually at the point where it's like, okay, I'm going to drink tonight, and I am going to get shit-faced, and I'm going to get white girl wasted like I'm fucking 18 again, but I'm choosing to do so as well. It's not just, oh, I've started drinking and the night's rolling on, and oh, I've gotten really trashed, and oh, fuck, I'm a mess on the floor. It's like, no, I'm going to get trashed tonight, you know, and making that adult choice to do so. But it's definitely amusing me.
And suffer the consequences.
More so than ever before.
As you get older, you don't bounce back as quickly as you did when you were younger.
Fuck no. But I mean, I will pick one mod that'll be my drinking mod. Because like Megan was saying, you know, that consciousness of cost of your gear or whatever you've got with you. Like at Auckland Vape Day, like what she was talking about, I had a handbag on me. I had 3 mods in my handbag. That handbag stayed on me, never left my side. But my God, was I drinking? But that handbag was never put down for me to worry about those particular mods that I had on me.
Yeah, but once they're like in a bag and you've got it on, you don't need to worry about so much about those. But when you've got one in your hand and you put it down, you have the potential to walk away without it.
I did that at Foxwoods when they had the expo here in Connecticut. My fiance just kept picking it up, and I'm just like, and at one time he didn't pick it up, and I was like, I went to take a vape, and I'm like, oh my God, where is it? Like I freaked. And the funny thing is that because I had put it down, you know, because you're tasting, you know, you're testing other juices and stuff, you're testing juices and stuff like that. And there was this guy, and I heard him out of the corner of my eye, I heard him, you know, say to his wife or whoever he was with, like, "Oh my God, look at that mod! I really want that one. I've been looking at that. You know, it was this one." And I was like, you know, I heard him. I did the tasting. We walked from the booth, and the next booth, I was like, oh my God, where is it? And I got so paranoid because I remember hearing the guy walk back there. Thank God it was still there, you know? But yeah, I do it a lot. So I can't imagine you guys carrying like more than one around with you because I can't even hold on to one. I'm like, I need like a lanyard or something, just or some Velcro, you know?
I'm always strip on the mod, one on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. like those Velcro walls, and the kids get all suited up and they jump on them and they stick. Like, yeah, I need one of those. I need a Velcro suit so I can just like stick it on. But
yeah, it's quite funny.
I would love a lanyard, but I just don't think it would sit right. It'd be too heavy. It would like you'd be dancing around. It's gonna smack you in the face. Obviously, I'm not gonna take my heeks out if I were like on a binge, but yeah, if it were anything beyond an IKEA or a Joe Sig or an Ego Pen type sizing, you just bash people with your mod. Like, I'm sorry, what'd you say to me?
One of those like army vests with like all the pockets or something like that, you know? So if you're like
I've got a photography vest on, but I'm not taking photos tonight. I'm just all vaped up.
there you go.
Yeah, just put in those pockets. Like just put your back here in it. Sport a fanny.
That's Rob makes a good point too, and it's funny. And I think he said, you know, so many people are recovering in the vaping community from one thing or another, and that's true. And you know, I think that is also really amazing. That's another thing. I know. I was on another show, and people were talking about that too. And just the fact that we can also support. I mean, I think smoking is one of those things. I mean, there's some people that just smoke, and that's all they did. But you know, I mean, I know I started as a smoker, as a social smoker. I'd go to the bar, have a couple drinks, bum some, you know, cigarettes off my friends, that kind of stuff, and then it just progressed. And I think, like with anything, there's always a progression. And so even, you know, even that, I mean, there's, I think it's great as a community. That's the part that makes me sad, that what we were talking about before is that you have to be this kind of vapor or that kind of vapor. It's like, no, we're all human beings. We all have problems or vices that we're trying to get over or have gotten over, or maybe we're still battling them or whatever. You know, I mean, you know, I know there's a lot of people who smoke and vape, and they're ashamed to say, I smoke and I vape. You know what I mean? It's like, and I find that very disheartening and sad, because you know what? At least you're trying. You'll get there. You know, when people say to me, you know, oh, well, yeah, I'll offer somebody something and they're like, well, you know, I kind of vape, but, you know, I also smoke. And, you know, and they say it in this little teeny voice. And I'm like, well, you know what? Good for you. At least you're trying. You'll get there. You know, I mean, at least you're not my mom or dad or like not even trying, you know? Yeah, we all, you know, we all go through stuff. And, you know, and I think that's another thing that I've experienced is that I can talk to people in these live shows. My fiance asked me too, and he said, he's like, what's the deal with these live shows? You're on so many live shows. And I said, you know why I love it? Is because I can talk to the people in the audience, and I can hear their stories, and I can talk to the people on the screens and realize that I'm not alone. It's like, I'm not as fucked up as I think I am. Well, maybe I am, but you know, I'm not the only one. You know, I'm not that special that my problems are the worst problems out there. And it kind of just gives you a whole new perspective. And, you know, that's one of the things that I do love about this community is that, you know, we're all just human beings. And it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, I've had people say to me, you know, I've recently, you know, started getting noticed, you know, in my state, even out of state. I went to vacation in Missouri, and, you know, somebody was like, I know you. I'm like, I've never been to Missouri in my life. Right? I'm like, this is my first time here. We walked into a vape shop and they're like, I know you. And I'm like, I don't think so. And they're like, beauty something. And I'm like, oh my God, you know? And it's funny, you sit down and you talk to them and they're, you know, and they get to know you on a totally different level. It's like, yeah, I'm a human being. I'm just a normal person. You know what I mean? It's like, there's no, you know, there's no hierarchy, there's no whatever. And, you know, and that's what I love. Like, that's what I love about live shows. I love it.
It's
interesting just being able to communicate with so many different diversities, I guess, like of people. And yeah, it's the community. I mean, it's like, you should expect that it's going to be a very broad spectrum of people. I mean, like that whole argument was like, there's no one type of vapor, because there isn't.
Right.
We're all different. And it's like there are things that we can, that we do share that are alike. And yeah, it's like I've even noticed like that. Sorry guys. They walk in. We're a hugely diverse group of people that have been brought together by one common thing. And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you know, it is. It's you know, it's, and the thing is, I mean, and like I said, we can all be diverse, but we all, I mean, it sounds so stupid. We're all human beings. You know, we all bleed the same. It's, you know, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it quite interesting, the diversity of those that we call family. I mean, it's one thing, like, and going back over the replay, whomever's watching the replay, oh my God, you've got a jumble of topics tonight, haven't you?
We were covering everything.
Yeah, we've covered a bit of everything. But I mean, like,
we did have
a script. it's one thing to talk about, you know, the perception of being a type of vapor or being a type of human to get into vaping or whatever, you know, all of everything we've already covered, all valid. But on the flip side of all of that being the diversity of the beings is a good thing in that aspect of the amount of friends globally that I have right now that I didn't have a year, 2 years ago, that I would have never met in any way, shape or form, crossed paths with in life if it wasn't for vaping.
Right.
You know, okay, every family is dysfunctional in some small way or some big way. You know, every family has its shit. If even the normalist seeming Brady Bunch, you know, has their shit in some fashion, right through to the most dysfunctional. And as humans being diverse beings from every goddamn walk of life, culture, type, gender, what have you, the diversity of people that we now call vape family, community, you know, unity across the globe, people that we would have never even crossed paths with. That's what I really love about the vaping community. You know, like half these hooligans hanging out in the chat, yeah, boys, I'm talking to you lot. You know, like, would have never have met any of them if they weren't vapors who happened to loiter around live YouTube shows and, hey, look, there's some Kiwi chick. You know, like, or however we met. But that diversity across the globe for that one cause that we're all here for, being the same reason. And then, yeah, we can have our shit fights amongst the community. We can talk elitist vapors. We can talk authentics and clones and break down our own community to shreds and argue about it. Same as every family, you know?
Right. But when it comes to it, I mean, like I said, seeing all these people, I mean, there's so many people that in the chat that I recognize their faces. I'm friends with them on Facebook, you know, or even if I'm not, it brightens my day just to see them. Like every show I go on, here they are, you know what I mean? Throwing me hearts or whatever. And I'm just like, oh man, you know what? Like that's what it's about. It's like, and even if you do get, like you said, you get into these fights and you bicker or whatever. But, you know, I would like to think that I could still go to these lovely people and say, guys, I'm not doing so good. You know what I mean? Like, help me out here, you know, give me a pep talk. And they would be there, you know, and it's great. It's amazing. And it, you know, my fiance has the attitude of Facebook friends or YouTube friends. They're not real friends. And the person in Missouri that I was talking about, I met her in the beauty community, and we both had channels, and we started talking to each other. Yeah, we started FaceTiming and all that stuff. And we took a trip out there, we met. So it's like, just because I haven't met you in person doesn't mean you're not really my friend. You know what I mean? Like if you have my number, you can call, I'm here all the time for you. Like that's just how it is. And I think that's really, really, really cool. You know, I just, so I don't believe that just because people haven't met in person, you know, I mean, hey, my next trip might be to New Zealand, you know, and then,
party with us, girl, come party.
And then it's all, you know, it's all downhill from there. But, you know, I mean, it's funny because even in Vape Shack, I had Rochelle vape with me. She actually, we went to her. We stopped over, we drove, but we stopped over in her state, and she came to the hotel room, and I met her in person. I had known her from the beauty community too. She also has a beauty channel. For the first time, it was really surreal because the first question I asked her is, am I the same as did you expect something different? You know what I mean? Like I was almost nervous, like I wasn't going to live up to some sort of expectation. And she goes, what are you talking about? You're exactly the same, you know? But it's just really cool. It's like you honestly have made friends, you know? It's not like if I met you guys, I wouldn't be like, hey, Megs, Mox, hey, oh, nice to meet you. No, I'd be like, hell, come here. You know what I mean?
Give
Give
it
me a
a
hug.
love, sister.
You know, it's really, really cool. It's really, really neat.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the same thing that happened. Like, yeah, that was the same thing that happened like with Mox and I. So we met online, as you do. And it's like talking, sort of just talking crap and stuff. Like, obviously, the more you talk to each other like online, you're getting to know each other. So you've already sort of like broken down that barrier. It's like, okay, yeah, even though we can't see each other face to face, we're getting to know each other. So then when we did actually meet in person, it was like, hey, bring it in. and it was like, okay, yeah, we're finally meeting like in person. And yeah, and it's not that awkward interaction like, okay, now that we're face to face, what do we do? It became really, really natural because you felt like, oh, yeah, I already know you.
Yeah, I already know this person. Exactly.
Yeah. And it was the same thing with like a lot of like the people like within our New Zealand Vape community. I mean, with whoever I end up interacting with online, whether it's through Zoom Hangouts or in Facebook chat and stuff, you're getting to know that person. So when you do actually finally meet the person, it's not that whole sort of just you put your hand out and you go, oh yeah, fine, nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's not like a first blind date or something.
Yeah, it's nothing like that. The only time that it ever becomes that way is that when someone approaches you, you haven't interacted with them, but they know who you are.
Right.
And then like, oh, hey, it's like, oh, hi, Megan. It's like, oh, such and such. I think what you do is really, really awesome. I was like, oh no, this is cool. I was like, thanks.
That is a little. I had that happen at Connecticut Vapor Trail. When I pulled in, they were like, oh, the guy goes, oh, that's Beauty and the Vape. It's Christine, Beauty and the Vape. She's a YouTube reviewer. She's over 21. Just give her a wristband, whatever. And she's like, hey, he's like, hey, what's up? Whatever. I had no idea who this guy was. None. I'm like, you do that, hey, what's up, kind of thing. What are you doing? And we pulled the park, and I said to Maren's like, who is he? I'm like, I have no idea, And then afterwards, I it's like we started to talk, and then I was like, oh, then the bells go off. You're like, okay, now I know who you are, And now we're friends on Facebook, and we talk. He has a shop right in Manchester. And we talk all the time, like right down, next town over, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it is awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think like for me it's also being able to connect with other adults, which is another thing, I guess, like for me. Because a lot of the time it's like I do a lot of my interaction like with people like, I'm not going to say that my flatmate's a child because she's not. I mean, there's like her, and then there's like her daughter, and then there's my family. And yeah, I was very rarely sort of broadened out any further than that. So the vaping community has given me the opportunity to do that. And and it's cool. I love it. I love it a lot.
I love it a lot.
What's that look for? What?
I was just looking over my glasses in chat.
It's almost like that sort of peering over the glasses, like, how you doing, look? That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, it's either how you doing or you've absolutely lost your mind look.
Hey boys, how you doing?
Hey boys, what's up?
Yeah, hey boys, how you doing?
You've been a naughty boy. Go to my room.
Start giving away secrets there, Christine. A lot of boys like my voice when you get the old, hey, how you doing going on? Oh my god, 6'4". Fuck yeah, Zach. I like tall guys. Oh, I just said that on the stream. Whoops.
Yeah, my fiance is
6'4".
I know, Chris.
6'8". Isn't that crazy?
Do you, okay, no, and I'm not even trying to make a filthy joke, but seriously, do you even come up to his belly button? I know how short you are.
Yes, I do.
Much past? You make nipples?
Not nipples.
So between belly button and nipples, we've got Christine's height standing against her fiance.
Yes.
Midget love for the win.
Somebody taps his arm out.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's one of those things too. It's funny because when I tell him, I'm like, come on, let's take a selfie. And I try to hold the camera. I'm like, wait, T-Rex arms, that's not going to work. So then I go to him, here, you hold the camera. And I'm like, okay, honey, I'm down here. You know what I mean? Like, you got to move the camera. You look great, but we're both in the picture. You know what I mean? So it's so funny. And I swear, when we get married, I'm going to have to be on a stool or something, one of those rolly stools, and just, my dress will just cover it or something.
No.
And
Stilts under your wedding dress. Stilts. So
I
you can be like, for
so
one day and one day only, I will be whatever fucking height I please. Oh, boys. Does your fiance vape?
Mhm.
Oh, cool. So it's a household of vaping. That's awesome.
It's a household of baby. Well, yeah, because I basically, when I decided to quit, we had just started dating, and I wasn't going to be around it. And that's kind of how I am, and that's my personality. It's kind of how I am. He used to work at a bar. Well, he had a day job, but bounce at a bar, be a bouncer. And I also told him to, no drinking. So, like, you want to go drink with your buddies, that's fine. But when you come to my house, like, there's no alcohol allowed in my house. And, that's just how it is. And so for the first year, pretty recently, a couple of years ago, found out the first year of us vaping, of our vaping journey, because we started it together, he was smoking. And I didn't know that. And he never told me. And my cousin was over one day, we were having this conversation, and he's like, oh yeah, he goes, I was smoking, because she was asking about, our gear and stuff like that or whatever. He goes, but once I got, this tank and this thing, I haven't picked up a cigarette since. And I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? We used to smoke those little, those little e-cigs. Like, what? Okay, news to me. Like, great, but yeah, it's, it's pretty cool. I build all his coils for him. I wick for him. Like, so when he sees something that needs a coil or a wick, I kind of try and steer him away from it. I know that that's going to be up to me. Like, okay, can you build this and wick it? And now, like, now. I'm like, okay, I will. No, now. Like, just like, okay, great. Like, one of these days we're going to sit down and you're going to learn how to do this yourself.
That's awesome that you're the one that's taking control of the vape life, per se, in your house. I like that, and I can just hear some of my own mates here in New Zealand, like, just be like, what the fuck? That's all wrong. Role reversal. And it's like,
yeah.
What century are you from? What decade did you grow up in? Yeah.
Yeah. But what's funny about that too is a lot of people would say that, but for him, he likes it, and not because, he works hard. He's a master electrician, so he works on, like, high voltage power plants and stuff like that. He works hard all day, so it kind of falls along the lines of, I do the cooking, I do the laundry. I'm not a Stepford wife, obviously, but I do most of the domestic stuff, and so he thinks of it as, he likes it. It's almost like I'm taking care of him. It's just one more thing that I do for him. That, because I said to him, I'm like, what? You know Ohm's law better than I do. You're a goddamn electrician, for Christ's sakes. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell me you can't build a coil. You can't, He's like, I can, but he's like, I like it when you do. It's just something that, that I do for him that he enjoys. And I enjoy doing it. So, it's cool. So.
I just realized how long we've been talking shit for. Like, right as Jax just appeared in the chat box, right then, I just looked at the clock myself and gone, shit, really? I know we had 15 minutes of fuck around at the beginning, but we just talked up a storm, girls.
Yep.
Yeah, I was looking at the time when it was getting closer to 6 o'clock, like New Zealand time. And it's like, okay, no, I'm going to keep rolling with this until Mox says, okay, we're going to wrap it up now. And it's like, no, we're still talking. Okay.
I know. Well, my bedtime's actually 1 o'clock, and I'm just saying to myself, I'm like, oh my God, like,
What time is it there now?
It's 1:17 a.m. It's so funny because when you originally said 11 o'clock and then you're like, no, it's 10 o'clock. I'm like, cool, okay. So I can do a couple hours and I'll still get to bed at a decent hour. And I should have known better. Well, what the hell was I thinking?
Being at a decent hour? It doesn't even exist when Mox and I talk.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying out there in the chat that we will wrap it up in a few minutes, and then being that it is late, if anyone wants to come out and chat to us in person on Zoom for after party styles, they're most welcome. Megan will probably have to run away and have dinner, but I'll be there if you guys want to chat to me. So yeah, okay, so people watching the replay, I have no idea if they're going to get this far through it.
I was just going to say to Megan, well, then you're going to have to tell me that little tidbit of information. You'll have to hit me up tomorrow or something.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I'll probably try and put in that little drum bit before the Zoom link gets shared out. Yeah, I'll try and cover it very briefly. I'll give like a quick run through as to what happened.
There you go.
I was just going to say, Beauty, is there anything you would like to say to the peeps, say to our Kiwi viewers, anyone on this side of the world? Yeah, where can people find you? You do your wrap-up spiel first, honey.
My wrap-up spiel. You can find me, obviously, on YouTube. Just type in Beauty and the Vape. Yeah, it'll come right up because I don't have one of those cool, YouTube/Beauty and the Vape, addresses. No, I can't remember all those letters and numbers. I also have my own website now, which I think a lot of people don't even realize, and I'm posting a lot of advocacy stuff on it. It will also have live shows coming up soon on that website where people will be able to come in, but it's www.beautyandthevape.com. So you guys can go over there and, I think you just have to fill out a quick form, not a form, but, like just subscribe or whatever. And you get notifications whenever I post something new or I have a live show going on within that room or whatever the deal is. And I'm always in, Vape Shack. And yeah, and you can find me on Facebook. Most people know my name already. So, don't be afraid. Hit me up because, I love making friends, and you guys are like really, really awesome. Everybody's been so amazing. Everyone who's stuck with us through all our fuckery at the beginning.
I know, right?
It was great.
So down in the description, I'll just have to add in Beauty's website, which I didn't realize was existing. We've got a YouTube, Instagram, your Facebook public figure page, and your vaping swag apparel link down in the description as well.
You guys, I love you guys.
Yeah, you like smother the camera. Oh, come here, girl. Love ya.
Really, just come into my bosom.
Because we all love a good motorbike,
Absolutely.
Right, what would you like to say to everybody, Megan?
Well, first off, I'd just like to thank everybody for trying to tune in despite the issues that we've been having. Also, thank you to Christine for coming on the show and being our guest.
Thank you for having me.
And I guess places to find me. You can find me on Instagram. I'm Ohm Kiwi on Instagram, as well as on Facebook. I've got Ohm Kiwi Coils on Facebook. And yeah, you can come here. I mean, if you want to hit me up on my personal one, you have to make sure I know you, because if I don't know who you are,
true.
I don't know about that one. But yeah, I'm Megan Barr, BARR on Facebook as a personal Facebook. Yeah.
It's permanently out there in YouTube land now, Megan.
I know.
You know why I never say my real name on the
I
show,
regret
eh?
it, actually. I'm thinking,
Yeah,
I regret this.
I
Don't
think,
make me regret this, guys. I will never say it again otherwise.
yes, we'll see. All of a sudden you have a mass influx of names wanting to just know Megan because you're the awesome coil
Yeah.
builder from New Zealand.
I still I wish shipping was not so much because I need some Megan coils.
Yeah, I'm still in the process of trying to get that up off the ground at the moment. I've kind of had to put it on hold. But yeah, it's a work in progress.
Sure.
Well, it'll be worth it when it happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Yes.
Alrighty, guys. So, yeah, you all know who I am, and if you don't, then I don't know how you found us.
I don't know what show you've been watching.
Yeah, well, keeping it real, because if you're out there in the chat box or you're watching, then you obviously know me or Megan or know one of our names, and you came across my channel and you found us to be watching in the first place. So, I'm Mox, and you can find me on all the usual social medias. All that jargon's down in the description below us. Thank you, Christine, for coming on today, and albeit the YouTube fuckery, for hanging out and just having a yarn with the girls.
It was fun. It was a blast.
So yeah, hang tight, guys, out in the chat. I will throw out the Zoom link for after party in just a couple of minutes. And yeah, I as you guys may have noticed, I haven't done an advocacy spiel tonight because well, to be quite honest, you've heard it all before. You know what I'm going to say. Everybody else is saying it. Inform, educate, advocate. That's about all that needs to be said because I say it over and over again. Bottom line is not smoking and helping our friends make a better choice for their lives. So we love you all, guys. Peace. Keep it real. And we're going to go out on some clouds and we'll see you in the after party. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for putting up with all the drama of the YouTube stream. And hopefully you'll tune in next week and come hang with me and Megan again. Sorry, Phil, Megan and I on the Ohm Kiwis show every Sunday night in the US and Canada and Mondays here in New Zealand. So we'll see you guys soon. Love you, Vape fam.
Bye.
Bye.